if I die tomorrow, I hope you hear these words. I ain't here to flip no birds or sip no serve. Hope the future generations can get this urge. Stay woke, youngin', and avenge these nerds.
Hello.
What's up?
It is Tuesday night.
Hello, my guys.
And we got a wild tone back from Cali.
Yes, you were
back
missed.
on the East Coast. Yeah, I
How
heard I
was
was missed.
Good.
I
Did you
heard I
bring
was
us back?
missed.
So you came back and you brought winter with you, bro. It's cold today.
Yeah, fam.
Come on, bro.
I'm
It's been
gonna
cold
bring this.
since Sunday, though. To be fair,
Yeah,
That's
I
what
know.
he
I
came
was-
you
back.
went from
Yeah.
70 to
That's
50,
what-
bro.
I was living in that California sun, man. Just
Was it great?
yeah, it was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
That's cool. That's cool. I miss Cali, man. I know you. Did you get in and out? Did you get in and out? That
No,
you
I've
got
had
in
it.
and
that?
out.
It's their version of Shake Shack,
Oh, it doesn't matter.
and they have a secret menu that Seabass just loves to talk about.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, we love the Shake Shack.
But we
I
got
love- I
we got 7-Eleven hot dog over here, so you know.
Yo, listen, I
Never
Wait.
lived that down, kid.
upgraded to
7-Eleven
Wawa.
hot dog? Did I miss something?
We went
We
to
went to
Anime
Anime
NYC, and we were going to, we figured, let's go to 7-Eleven, and me
Grab like
and
snacks
get some
and
drinks,
like, stuff,
hearty snacks, something that isn't going to make you use the bathroom because we're going to be walking around. So I get a
Okay.
Gatorade. Law
Yeah, I
gets, I
got,
think,
like,
a Gatorade or a water.
something like
And
that.
this fucking guy
I
He
didn't
gets
get
a
hot.
glizzy.
looks over at the grill spinning thing and is like, I want,
didn't get hot dogs.
what'd you get? You got the taquitos or some
Got the
shit?
taquito. Got the
Yeah.
the buffalo chicken taquitos.
Oh.
At like the crack of dick in the morning, like
I got
like,
I got two
like
of
the
them.
first thing
No,
in the
the only-
morning. That's
Two of
what we're doing.
Oh.
Really? That early? Not a coffee? Nothing? No?
Oh, I
we
did
weren't
get a
that
coffee
early. It
too.
was like the
Oh
afternoon.
wait, yeah, he did
Okay,
have coffee
okay.
or like a Red Bull too.
It
but, like,
was just the fact of the matter that he's eating that 7-Eleven, not knowing where it's been at, and
7-Eleven is not someplace you want to get actual hot food
Listen.
from.
and then
This
wants
is
to
what I-
walk around a con where it's 95% men, and it'll be the only time in your existence where
It
the
is
men's
not
bathroom is.
95% men.
Yes, it is.
No,
Wait.
not with cosplayers in today's world.
We're not. That's the 5%.
Okay, you know what? I'll give you that.
Listen, you
I
go to any
concede.
you
I
go to any
concede.
of those cons, and that's the only time in ever of existence where the men's bathroom will have a line and the women's bathroom will not have a line. So that's all I gotta say.
That doesn't exist anywhere, but okay, I'll believe you.
It's at can y'all
At
back
that
me up,
con.
please?
Okay, I'm just saying.
I mean, I'm in
not
the
wrong.
middle.
Usually the women's restroom is the one that has
Yeah.
the line.
Yes, everywhere else.
usually.
Usually.
And which con is this?
It's all
And,
cons, but this was
All
Anime
kinds of Anime
NYC.
NYC was this one.
Anime NYC. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I'm
so
like,
that's the one I need to go to that I can actually use the restroom in. Got it.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Sure. Sure.
You know what? It's okay.
with that being said, with bathroom lines and everything, guys.
That's not how you segue into announcements.
No,
That is
I'm not
definitely
segueing
not.
into the announcements. What I'm segueing into is that We Suck at Comics hit the goal and has already hit their first push goal. So the anthology is fully funded and the first push goal is out there with just a few more days to spare. They're on Catch the Craze right now. So yeah, they're on doing a special podcast covering that. Again, gotta give a shout out to Alex, the guys at Wayward Raven, Mark, and Josh putting that together, all the team. So yeah, it is fully funded. The first push goal is already fully funded. Johnny C, who's one half of one of our guests that is on here tonight, who he hosts with the show Indie Comics Relay. We're gonna bring our guest later. He gets to work with Johnny every Wednesday on the Indie Comics Relay. And Johnny's gonna have a story in there. But yes, now I will segue into announcements with that one.
Sure.
Yay! Announcements. Are you ready?
Sure.
I feel like
When do we
when
ever
you
ask when you're ready? Just
it
go.
feels like it's a Nick Jr. special, and you're just like, "Are you ready, kids?" And we're just like,
Are you ready, kids? I can hear you.
Listen. Right now, this is what's going on. Where is he? How do you do this shit? No, wrong one. How do you blow up Seabass?
There we go.
No, what the hell?
No.
Wrong
No.
one.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. It's Nick Jr.'s face right there.
With announcements. Like, here we go.
All right, come on.
All right,
Give
guys,
me
make sure you're watching. Make sure you're checking out Concrete Combat. Subscribe to the Patreon. Which subscribing to that, Concrete Combat Chapter 2, Part 1 is coming out next week. Gotta thank George Medina for lettering that for me right there, because George has been phenomenal with the letters. If you're a comic book creator out there who needs a letter, make sure you reach out to George the Dreamer Medina, one half of Catch the Craze. So he's been doing a phenomenal job. And again, this chapter is going to be fun. And I put some personal stuff in that chapter that I had to write out. But chapter 2, part 1 is coming out next week. Guys, make sure you're following Law's Twitch channel. He's definitely going to be
I have to update those times. So we're just sticking to Sundays and Thursdays for now. Last week I was just out sick for the most part, but I'm back in the game this weekend.
Guys, so make sure you guys are following him, because again, he's going to be updating the times. It's to be determined. So make sure you're following on Thursdays and Sundays. But regardless, just follow him and give him the support that out there. Next thing on the list, the Kickstarter, like we just said, We Suck at Comics. It is fully funded. So that means everyone who is back, thank you. It is fully funded. Now we're just doing push rewards. There's still a few more days to put that money in there for your pledge, to upgrade your pledge with some of the rewards that are there. There's a lot of great stuff that's in that. Again, they said it's going to be about 300 pages, about 17 stories, and a bunch of different additional stuff that is in this anthology. Next on the list, the Medusa's Cascade podcast. Make sure you guys are tuning in every Saturday for the D&D Medusa's Cascade podcast. It is the podcast of mayhem, it is the podcast of fantasy, it is the podcast of adventure.
That's also changing schedule just for like the interim for like the next couple weeks while we do the arc episodes. We are releasing bi-weekly episodes to get through the holidays, to give us time to like wind down, give Tommy wind down, and everyone catch up a little bit, and then I think we'll pick up at some point, or we'll just keep it at a bi-weekly schedule.
There you go. Make sure you're following it. Finally, also too, make sure you're checking out Lou Cyphs' new EP. It's out. The Motive. The link is in the description. We've been giving him a shout out. Lou Cyph came out with this amazing album. We call it Rap for Grown Folk. It's an amazing album. And for those who don't know Lou Cyph, he is the one who actually put together the Nerds of the Round theme song that you hear every Tuesday. Again, amazing artist. Make sure you're checking out his stuff, follow him, and check out his new album, Motive. Catch the Craze. Make sure you're catching them every Wednesday. They're also up on Thursday mornings with their Thursday morning show as well. So if you're traveling, want to listen to a show on Thursday morning, make sure you check out our brothers over there at Catch the Craze. Also, too, Val is part of a new podcast as well. She got to be a part of this. This is awesome news to jump on that. They are on YouTube. I'm going to be dropping the links in the comments. We're going to start seeing that more in the descriptions. It's called the T.E.A.V. It is on YouTube. Make sure, did I say that right, Val? Did I say it right? T.E.A.V.
Can you please give us a brief description on what your podcast is about, since CBS can't read 4 letters?
Well, it's just a bunch of girls. We're talking about social issues, popular culture stuff at today's world, dating, mental health issues, things of that nature. Safe zone, basically a safe zone to spill the tea. It's called T.E.A.V, and it's on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and it's just starting out. So we're going to be airing Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till 8 on Reflex Radio app, and airing on all the normal streaming channels. So yeah.
That is awesome. And guys, we're gonna be I just dropped the link in the comments, so make sure you guys are following, make sure you guys are giving them the support there, because again, congratulations on that, Val. Again, always amazing creators on the show, always amazing, and always love supporting each other's projects. And when we talk about support, you've seen him on the show a bunch of times. Make sure you're also following Pong on his Twitch channel, The Sin Shop. You can catch Pong on Mondays and Fridays on the Sin Shop on Twitch. So if you have a Twitch channel, make sure you're also following Pong on there as well. Guys, did I do amazing with that or what? Did I do a good job? Do I get an A, a C, a B? I don't know.
I'll give you a
I
solid
mean, that's good
C.
enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Okay, I'll give you a solid C.
Solid. See you later. But we have an amazing show. We're gonna dive into Black Adam. But before we do that, we want to bring an amazing guest out here. We've been in the works of having this guest on. We're gonna be on his show next week. He is one half of an amazing podcast called Indie Comics Relay. They get to talk to a lot of amazing creators. He is also the author and creator for an amazing comic called The Mighty Mascots. I want to give it up for the one, the only, the awesome Gleason.
Hey, wow, what
Hey.
an introduction. That was awesome.
Come on, Keith. How you doing?
I was listening backstage. I want to go back to talking about crappy convenience store food.
Go for it.
I'm
go
all
for it.
about it, you know? I've eaten some crap, let me tell you. No?
I think we all do.
Oh, my God.
I don't know what it is. It's like when I do a con, my stomach gets very mighty and it can hold in that food. But then when I get home, my wife is like, "You can't eat that anymore." I'm like, "I'm sorry, babe."
You know, it's true. Like, when you go to a con, like, you just throw out your diet for that day or whatever normally eat. It's like, you're off the
feel like
wagon.
you can do that when you're exhibiting, when you're just walking around the show floor all day. Then you
Yeah.
start getting into like the dicey territory.
There's a whole lot
like,
of movement. There's hot air.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, man.
You got smelly armpits. You
Oh
know,
my
like,
God, the
I-
con crud, you know.
You
You got to
everything
make
else.
calculated decisions.
Listen, give
Well,
me
it's
Gatorade
for me.
and granola
I don't
bar,
know.
man.
How about you? I don't know about you guys, but when I do a con, like, I don't actually like to eat at the con. I fill up and
It's
have a
hard not
huge
to.
breakfast, and then like I try to go all day, and then we go to whatever the dinner is after, or we just hit something on the way home. But that's usually crappy food too on the way home, you know. But like, yeah, I try not. I don't know. There's something about eating at the con that I don't know. Like
I
you guys
don't-
said, all that smells and everything, you know.
I don't eat at the con because food tends to be very expensive in the venue. It's afterwards.
Yes.
I'd rather spend that money on the
Listen.
food afterwards. at
Yeah,
a nice
I'm with
restaurant.
you.
Seabass has done enough shows with me that if I don't eat during a show, I'm be real cranky.
That's
I'm
what I
not.
was
It's
gonna
not a
say.
good look.
My
Nah,
wife too.
no one
My
wants
wife
you to be
brings all
hangry.
kinds of
Happy go
snacks.
law out
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah, my
Oh.
wife brings all kinds of snacks for her, and she usually eats
I'm a
healthy all
snacker.
day.
That's me. all
Not
day.
me. I'm like, she's eating carrots and whatever, and I'm like grabbing like a table talk pie or something. It's like just the worst stuff you can eat.
I haven't
You know?
seen those in years.
Oh my God, we got them. There's so many up here in Massachusetts. I think this state is where they're made, actually. So they're all over
wow.
the place, So
Yeah, I'm always like hocked up on Red Bull and Monster during con weekend, and then it's afterwards I carb load on all the food the next day.
yes,
It's like I'm good. I had a big. I've had the opportunity to table next to people. I won't shout them out because they're cool people, but whose food didn't really agree with them the next day. So your nose kind of like regrets it.
Oh no. Yeah, I've been there a few times too. That's not fun.
Shout
I know, just it's part of the con experience. I think vending at one, and going to one.
It is. It's a fun experience. But Keith, we want to welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Let everyone know about your book, Mighty Mascots, and the Indie Comics Relay. Because for those who don't know, Keith Gleason, please give them.
Yeah, definitely. So I have a book called Mighty Mascots. It's basically if you took a Saturday morning cartoon and jammed it with like a superhero comic. It's about a bunch of serial mascots that come to life by a 3D printing accident, and they become like a superhero team. It's just like a fun superhero book, like the stuff that we used to see all the time in like the 70s and 80s, so it's super fun. And the show that I do on YouTube, like you mentioned earlier, is with Johnny C, who everyone loves Johnny C, so he's one of the best. We got together actually at the beginning of the pandemic. Me and him were, I came to him and I was like, Johnny, I'm thinking about doing this show, on YouTube. And he was like, and I was like, I'd love to have you come on as a co-host. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And I remember at first I was like, yeah, we should probably do it weekly, and he's like, I don't even know if we'll have that many guests. He's like, why don't we just do it like bi-weekly or once a month? And then like now it's like we have to turn people away, and it's like nuts. But we do try to keep to that bi-weekly schedule. And then I try to put up other videos during the week, just other things about how to vend at cons and things like that. Stuff that I think would be helpful for indie creators, things like that, you name it, table setup. I do some indie comic reviews sometimes, things like that.
Yeah. You guys,
cereal reviews.
You guys have fun on the show, and again, we look forward to being on the show next week.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun with all of you guys coming on. I think it'd be great. Even if we just, I don't know, talk whatever.
Listen, there's lots of content. We are never without content at any point anymore.
I'll hit up Johnny C and see if we can come up with some fun talking points for that episode. I think it's gonna be great.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. But we're gonna do something fun here. What's up, George?
George.
Yeah, shout out to George. George is
this continue the jalapeno
awesome dude.
The bomb. What else?
Oh yeah, Jay, I love it.
Hello, Amy's
What's up?
House.
What's up?
Remember, your guy last week says we do them too quick. No one gets to read them.
Sorry.
Who's in charge of the vet? Who puts up the vet?
Cliff Bars.
That was the feedback we got last week.
Cliff Bars are they're too healthy though. Those are too healthy. Those are too healthy.
So,
Cliff Bars are too healthy?
I think Cliff Bars are too healthy for Comic-Con. We need Rice Krispie treats, with M&Ms in it. That's like my health bar on a Comic-Con.
On Anaconda, it's definitely Skittles and Red Bull. I need my energy.
So we're now going to dive into the first movie in the docket, which is going to be Black Adam. So
we've had
I
more
told you
time.
I know
I'm
you're
not doing it.
I know you're not doing it. So you know what?
Why would he told you that wasn't the case?
I'll do it.
I'm also not doing one for
I'll do
Wakanda
it.
Forever because it doesn't need it because y'all know what you
I'll
got
do
into.
it. I'll do it.
Okay,
Guys, we're
you
going to talk
do.
spoiler warnings tonight. We're going to talk about how The Rock came in and definitely try to live the SmackDown in this movie. We had its ups and downs. We had the Justice Society forced on us. We have a hero or anti-hero who should have appeared in Shazam, but you know what? He appeared in his own movie. I give kudos to The Rock, but yeah, spoiler warning is that he kills a bunch of people, he throws a ship, Dr. Fate dies, and we didn't care about it, but that is the spoiler warnings for Black Adam. So again, Keith, usually yes, I'm sorry, I can't deliver like the tone
again. It has been never.
You see us are like none of us are excited about that. You're not allowed. You're not allowed going forward.
Listen, okay, look, I love Dwayne and everything too, but that movie was fucking stupid.
Yeah,
it was so stupid.
I think my opinion of it. Yeah, I agree with you, Tone. I think the best part about it was actually Dwayne Johnson, because the Black Adam character was correct. He's supposed to be this tough as nails, doesn't give a shit about killing, and and takes over that country basically. And I thought they got that right. Out of anything that was right. The rest of it though is a mess. I think. I think the Justice Society felt, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but they all felt like they were plucking Marvel archetypes. Like Atom Smasher just felt like they were doing Ant-Man. Hawkman was just angry guy, and then the only one that Dr. Fate was kind of cool, but like you said, you don't really care when he dies, and I wanted more of him, but they didn't. I don't know. It was, kind of messy plot-wise, I think.
I felt we should have got a movie or something with them first to really care for their characters, because I felt like they were forced.
Yeah.
And I felt before I give it to you, Tony, because I know you want to say something. I felt what they should have done was that the Justice Society should have been replaced with the Shazam family, which we would have cared for more since we've already gotten Shazam.
Yeah, that would have been. Yeah, that would have been a lot better, honestly.
I didn't care for the Justice Society. I thought they were the weak add-on for the movie. They were just forced to be cannon fodder to showcase how strong Black Adam is.
Yeah, and it's how can you call it a society? It was like 4 of them. Like, where's the rest of the team? Like, where's Wildcat? You know, where's Green Lantern? You know, I mean, they were always like a huge group. You know, like it just. The other thing that bothered me about them too is it seemed like they were just like the X-Men. They were coming from that mansion out of like the pool. It was like, you know, it's like they didn't know what the Justice Society was. They were like, oh, let's just throw these characters in there, you know.
And I got one more before you take it, Tone, and I'm gonna tag you in, Tone, because I see it. Right out, Rick.
Let's go.
I felt the Dr. Fate scene, like, again, when he died, you didn't care for it. It was, if it just looking at it, it felt more of a copy for what Doctor Strange did when he told Tony Stark that you're gonna die. Pretty much, that was one thing, and he did that with Hawkman, and I felt, again, it's like again, kudos to Rock what he did. This was probably one of the better DC films that came out, but there were just beats that just weren't there because it felt like there was more paying attention to the Black Adam character than the world that was around him, and that Dr. Fate thing just felt like it was a copy. The only thing that changed was that it was Dr. Fate that died, and I didn't care for it. I was like, okay, he died, end of story.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it was a mess narratively, definitely.
Tone, go ahead. Dr. Fate speaks about the Fate.
We did not need the JSA in this.
No.
They just were. I just would have been fine of watching The Rock just murder people.
This is so wild that I am on the opposite end of this whole discussion today.
I want to hear what you have to say.
I never would have thought it would have been me.
I'm watching this shit yesterday, and I'm just like, what's up Hawkman's ass? Because he's just an asshole. You've got the two lovebirds going on who are both useless.
Right.
And you got Dr. Fate spitting bullshit lines, but they just sound good because it's Pierce Brosnan saying it. Like, that's all we have going on here. And then you've got The Rock, who's just acting like Black Adam, and he is 100% owning the fact that he is Black Adam. I give him that. He is embodying it, and
I think it's watchable because of him. I think if it was anybody else, I don't think that film would have been. I think it would have been a disaster.
And you know how we were talking about how, like, obviously he wasn't going to get in the Shazam movies because he can't get his ass kicked. Yo, I could count on one hand how many injuries Black Adam had. Like, there was no challenge to him. It was just say your safe word. We put you in a tub of water, then say your safe word again and save the day. I was like,
dude got shot in the head and it didn't affect him in any way. He just got a mark, and it was like nothing. I don't know. Is Black Adam so OP in the comics? I don't read DC comics as much as Marvel.
He is supposed to be as powerful as Captain or Shazam,
right? But is he more than
too.
Superman?
So essentially,
they often fought, didn't they?
Yeah. So if you put it in terms of power scaling, Captain Marvel would be fast enough to be not to be in the Speed Force, but to run as fast as speedsters, essentially. Not some of the fastest speedsters, but in that same spectrum. As far as strength, he rivals Superman. As far as magic ability, he rivals Dr. Fate and Constantine. So there's a lot more to it.
Wait, so Black Adam can do magic?
Yeah.
He was based off of magic because that's because the wizards, just like who gave Shazam his powers, the wizard, there was a bunch of they gave him that power. Well, in the movie it was
Am I lost that he doesn't do any magic?
He has force lightning.
That doesn't, no, that's okay. I just thought this movie was predictable. I enjoyed it. I thought it was watchable, and when it first came out, I was like, oh, okay, it's a Rock movie. It's pretty cool. But it, like everything else DC does, it has nothing to do with the larger universe. And I just felt like it goes nowhere. And especially if he has no intention on ever teaming up against Shazam or doing a movie with Shazam, what's the point? Why are we doing Black Adam?
I thought that's where they were heading with that. I thought they were going to bring Black Adam into Shazam at some point. No, that's not happening.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, I don't know because he can't lose in his movies.
Mm-hmm.
They were
best writer in Hollywood.
So that's Vin Diesel stuff.
Yeah, that's why they butted heads on. But
the ego stuff.
Is it
He
what
was
they
some-
butted heads on? Really?
Yeah, they both were like. That's why I think was it Fast 6 or something? All their scenes are separated.
Yeah.
Like he's not in any scenes with Vin Diesel. And
Is that why? Was he mad? Was Vin Diesel mad they did the separate Hobbs and Shaw
Vin
thing?
Diesel was
no,
getting
that's
mad
why they
because-
did it, because they were button heads. That came after they started button heads.
Yeah, and people kept talking about how like the reason why the Fast movies were doing better was because The Rock came back, and that was
I think
pissing
it's
Diesel
true.
off. It's
It's
true.
true, actually.
It's a fact. It is.
It
a fact.
is a fact.
Because it's The Rock. Dwayne
I stopped
Johnson
watching
has
after
a,
Fast 5.
Dwayne Johnson has this like why he was very successful in wrestling. He has this charisma about him that he gets people
I love him.
excited.
Absolutely.
When people booed him, and everything when he first debuted it, he had to turn that around. And like, there's a reason why he reached Hulk Hogan status in wrestling, where he was just even beyond Hogan, where he became one of the icons and everything like that. Transitioned that into movies where a lot of people were like, you're not going to. So he went like, remember, from the Scorpion King to where he's at now, where he's a box office draw.
I'm sorry, Law. I didn't mean to cut you off before. I know you was.
I wasn't going anywhere.
I realized that I cut you off a little, but go ahead. Sorry.
I'm good. I'm waiting my turn. Go ahead, y'all finish.
No, go ahead. Go
But,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I mean,
Yeah.
aside from my issues of like the Kool-Aid Man and making a Popeye's chicken sandwich,
Oh,
and being
God.
Neo and popping bullets, like there's
Wait,
so many.
what's the Popeye's chicken
when
sandwich?
he was throwing hands on Hawkman, he turned him into a fucking chicken sandwich.
That
Oh
is-
God, yeah.
That's great.
no, the Kool-Aid
Yeah, for
Man
everybody-
was hilarious though.
Yeah, we
doesn't
were
use
getting
doors.
we were getting this in the chat last night. Someone was sending us into the chat just to give everybody context, and it was just funny how he's just riffing. He's like, "It's the Kool-Aid Man. You don't believe in doors."
Really? Wow, George.
I got more entertained. And when I walked
We
out
gotta-
of Wakanda
I don't know
Forever,
how he
and
walked
that
out of
sucks.
Wakanda. I don't know,
I was
man.
disappointed with Wakanda Forever, surprised that I walked out entertained out of Black Adam. Really, George? George?
George.
I've already, listen. I've already asked George to come in on the show, and he can. He's got some work he has to do to defend his claims. But I'm sure.
I need to understand that thought process.
Whenever
I
we see
cannot
him in person, which will never happen, he can tell us.
I've heard mixed reviews on it. So, did you guys all like it? Like, without going into spoilers?
I have minor things that I take away from it that I'm not pleased about.
Okay.
However, it didn't overshadow what I enjoyed about the entire movie.
Okay.
Go ahead,
yeah.
Val, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I enjoyed the movie. And I had the conversation with George. There were just certain things that I could see why people would kind of fall off with the movie. But as far as it goes, for me, those were just minor things, knowing what Marvel was doing with a lot of their stuff.
Okay.
And that's just me. And as far as it goes, I think the movie did a great service to one, paying homage and paying to the memory and tribute of Chadwick Boseman. To it kind of like gave this whole feel of passing the mantle. And also too, it was funny because again having this conversation with various people, a lot of people like felt like they should have recasted T'Challa.
Yeah,
T'Challa.
I'm one of those people.
But Marvel, and a lot of people forget, Marvel honored what people wanted. They didn't want the role to be recasted. And then now but I think they handled everything pretty well with this movie, especially with having to redo the whole script.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I think with what they're given, with the situation that happened and being sensitive to what happened, they did the best they could.
Yeah.
There are
Gotcha.
some things that I didn't personally like, but it didn't kill the movie for me.
Time out.
Gotcha.
Wait.
George,
Bullshit.
Come on,
Wait, are you
George.
serious?
Wait, George, we'll get it.
We'll
Yeah.
do it
Is
when
he
we
coming
switch to
in?
Black
Is he-
Panther.
he's-
We'll do one come in if you're down, because you told me no.
Let him come in. We'll talk.
come in, come
let's
in.
But no,
let's
but we
hear
don't
his
want him-
Black Adam take
Hold on,
too.
but the thing is with Black Panther, we're saving that for the second half, and I don't
Yeah.
want him to ruin it for Keith.
No.
Well,
we can wait.
he wants to also
But he
talk
also,
about.
but he also sold Black Adam. So
Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk about
Hey.
Black Adam.
And
Yeah,
Keith
yeah.
wants- Keith
Yeah,
Keith
get him
wants
on
to say-
here.
But Keith, as far as it goes too, with the story of Black Adam, everything that was going on, let's talk about how did you
Oh,
feel?
hold
about
on. We also need to get Lost take too.
Oh yeah. Cool, go
Yeah,
ahead. I'm
Law,
sorry,
now, Law,
I'm sorry.
He's
You
been
take-
waiting.
Go
You
ahead,
liked
keep
it, right,
waiting.
La?
So I went in there, no expectations.
Me too.
I was not looking at like this movie to be like a movie that I was like, oh shit, like this was good. Here's why I liked it. One, you can tell, at least for The Rock, he put those 15 years that he's been like doing this into this role.
He loved it. Yeah, you can tell he
this is
put his
definitely
heart
a
and
passion
soul
project.
into that. Yeah, definitely. It comes out in the movie.
Two,
I would agree with that.
I felt going in that once I knew that it wasn't attached to Shazam, I completely demystified like that whole idea of like, how does this fit into the bigger DCEU?
Okay.
The DCU is in shambles. We've been saying it for forever now. So like, for it to like just be in its own pocket, I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I agree with that.
Like, it was one of those things where like I was watching it for just a self-contained movie, and I was like, oh shit! Like, I don't really have many complaints about this. Like, it was actually pretty good. Now here's what you guys are complaining about. One, I love Aldous Hodge. He's one of my favorite actors.
Who is this?
Which
who
one?
Play
Hawkman. Carter Hall.
Hawkman. Okay.
Now, everyone hates Carter Hall for how he acted, but he is an asshole in the comics.
Carter Hall is like
100%
always angry.
Like,
he's always angry.
You know, you know how Namor is Black Air Force energy? Carter Hall is also Black Air Force energy. You guys have to understand that he hates everybody, and he always wants to smoke with everybody. So that's why you're gonna see all of how that interacted. Plus, you're a guy who technically can never die because you just get reincarnated. Of course, you're gonna have a fucking chip on your shoulder. But I progress.
New challenger approaches.
Yeah.
Let him in.
Don't worry, George. I'm gonna say my piece. I'm gonna tag you in. I got you, fam. I got you.
What's up, George? What's going on, man?
George was coming in hot today.
Yeah.
Spicy takes him to links.
I'm ready. But go ahead. Go ahead. Finish up, bro. Like, I got you.
So essentially, like, Carter Hall knew he was an asshole. Pierce Brosnan did a fantastic job as Dr. Fate. He played Kent Nelson like as I picture him, and like I grew up with Kent Nelson as like the DC animated universe Kent Nelson. So seeing that, I was like, that's him. Like, that makes sense. Did it suck that he like, you know, was like, I gotta die and do this whole blah blah blah? I'm like, yeah, but you can give the mantle. Like, what are you doing? Are you giving the mantles to somebody, or are you just like gonna come back later? Like, I hated that we only got him for the one movie. Yeah. Was I crazy about the other characters? Yes and no. They served as good like supplementary characters. The story was good. It wasn't great. It was predictable, but it was good enough that you were like, oh shit, like that makes sense. As you're picking up his whole, you know, why Black Adam is who he is and why he does what he does makes sense. He's a very cut and dry dude. Like, we don't need this whole elaborate story, this whole elaborate, you know, whatever. He is literally, get out of my country, fuck around and find out, yeah. And I got these hands ready to eat for everyone. That's him on the regular.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
like,
that's fine.
I agree.
I agree. I mean, I don't think it was. I don't think it was bad. I'm not the biggest fan of DC movies. They tend to drop the ball. And also, like you, I didn't have high expectations. I just think it was very predictable. But I did enjoy it.
It comes off to me as like one of those middle of the road movies like Venom 1. Like, where it's like very watchable, but it's like you're not gonna be like running out to see it again.
I think
what's that?
Not as bad as Venom 1.
Yeah.
Venom
Not
1,
as bad as Venom, but
no, but like very highly watchable, even though it's not quite, you know, like perfect. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know.
So this is what I'll say. Okay, and it's all about expectations, taming our expectations, right? Mm-hmm. When I walked into Black Adam, no expectations. I actually thought it was gonna be terrible. I was like, I'm gonna walk into this shit. I'm gonna walk out like, why did I spend this money? Right? But then they give me that final scene at the very end.
That's the movie I wanted to see.
And I was like, yo. And so I left the theater like, yo, I can't wait, right? But to your point, Laura, I liked everything you were talking about.
Here's the thing.
Wait, so the post credit scene is what got you hyped?
So hold on,
have
Yeah, I
mixed
wanted to
feelings
see
about
that movie.
because here's the issue with the post-credit scene for me. I'm like, why did they do that? It makes no sense. Like, Henry Cavill's not even Superman anymore. What are they doing?
No,
It
no, no.
doesn't
It's
tie into the
no,
bigger.
he
No,
is.
hold
He
on.
is.
Yes,
No,
he
wait,
is.
wait. Time out.
Go ahead.
That announcement came out the Monday after, and I saw it
Right.
the weekend before.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
we
okay.
was the intention in my mind. I'm like, this is stupid. This is
No,
gonna
no,
go
they
nowhere.
no the leak the no that credit scene leaked early, and then
Yeah.
and
Well,
then
I don't
Cap-
watch
in it.
any leaks prior to watching a
Okay.
movie
okay,
because
okay.
I don't want it to get spoiled.
But
for me.
to be fair, that was leaked before the movie dropped.
Yeah.
Cavill confirmed
So-
it, and so did The Rock.
No,
So-
you're right. So Tone, check this out though. So no, that wasn't what made the movie for me. But what I'm saying is, I walked out of that theater thinking, "Oh shit, that was kind of cool." The reason why I walked out of the theater that way is because I just saw an action flick. Like, I left everything else behind. The fact that the JS didn't make any fucking sense to me. I hated Hawkman, like you said. I liked Adam Smasher, but again, like you said, Keith, he was just fucking Ant-Man, right?
Yeah, he was.
And
totally.
and to me, Hawkman was just the Winter. I mean, what's his name? The Falcon, right?
Yeah.
Like it just seemed
Yeah,
like that to
yeah.
me. Like everything, like you said, we're just
they plucked
doppelgangers
all kinds of
the fucking-
Marvel
yes,
stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
And then
So I
even
didn't
like
like
to
that.
the point with the X-Men, like when
Right.
they were
Like,
coming
I-
out of the mansion, it
I
was just
did-
like
That's something that DC and Marvel has done for years.
they
I mean,
didn't
if
like
you
that.
look at
Yeah.
the comic book, these are similar
Yes.
characters that
Yes.
already are plucked from
yes.
each
All
other.
right. What
Yes.
I'm gonna interject. I'm gonna say this is that I feel like with the JSA, what they should have done is that we should have had something with them before they tackled
Yeah.
Black Adam for you to get to really introduce the characters. Because
I see,
again,
but
this
like
movie
that-
this
I don't-
movie
I
was
don't-
more Black
I
Adam.
don't understand how we can justify doing a JSA movie when the Justice League is in such shambles,
No, absolutely.
and like any
It's
other
DC.
ensemble group is in such shambles.
Well, that's why I said that
you know,
that
like
they
it
should
should
have
have
done.
just been Black Adam, just being the ruler of his fucking land and dealing with people, because The Rock clearly cannot be punched by anybody. So I would have just been fine with seeing him just kill a bunch of red shirts, because that's all he did in this entire movie, and have fun one-liners and go through walls when there were doors right next door to it. Like I just like I'm
but,
just
but check this out though. But as far as entertainment, it was entertaining as hell. Like I really was. And remember, I said I was
it moved
entertained.
quick. It
I was
moved, like-
entertained by it. Like I said, I was entertained. Did I say it was a good movie? Was it better than whatever? No. I was entertained by it though, and I wasn't expecting that. I thought it was really gonna like I was gonna walk out of there like, what the fuck did I
Pissed
just watch?
off, yeah.
And there was part of me that said that. But I was entertained. I was. I mean, The Rock brought it. Like he was just,
He's
Now,
what
listen, he
makes
was-
it work.
he was Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 2, and I told you that before, Sebastian. Like
Yeah, he did.
with Edward Furlong as young John Connor, telling them the cool lines to say to make him funny, and then he says the line at the end. That kind of shit.
yeah, but
So-
Terminator 2 overall is a good movie.
I love that movie. No, I love that movie. No, I loved it. I love that movie. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, I see what they're trying to do. But I mean, listen, I was entertained at the end of it, and we'll talk about Wakanda Forever in a little bit, and I'm sure I'm going to get killed for it. But
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah,
you
fighting.
are.
We fighting, Joe.
but I will wait.
On Black
It's
Adam,
fine,
we
it's
agree.
fine.
On Wakanda
It's
Forever,
fine.
I'm
No,
not sure, bro.
I agree. I didn't hate the
If you
movie
see the
as much as
badness.
Tone hates it. I think
I
that
don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just thought it was stupid.
Tone, you came in hot. Nah.
To be fair, okay. One, I had just watched Wakanda Forever that day. Two, I was like,
Exactly.
I need to
And you
watch
saw
this movie. That's fine. How about I was like, I need to watch this movie for the squad. How am I gonna watch it? Then y'all are like, there's a bootleg. I bet I'm gonna watch it on bootleg, and I'm watching it on this, and I'm like,
Hood release.
and
Oh,
I don't
that
care.
was-
I had to watch it, right?
Right.
And then I'm watching this with Jackie, and Jackie was like, "Yo, if you dragged me to see this fucking movie, like maybe prior to kids, this was a movie me and her would go see. She would come meet me at work. We will go get dinner, and we would go see, because we would watch every movie, and I would have been fine with that, because that's exactly what this is. That's 100% what it is.
Yeah.
But I have to watch this to discuss it with y'all, because I wasn't gonna watch it. I was just gonna come in here and let y'all spoil it for me.
Was this as painful for you as me having to watch Peacemaker?
No, I don't
I
think
doubt
so.
it. No,
I don't think so.
I think that was
No.
more painful for you.
That was painful
Okay.
for you, because there
Oh.
was you had some other issues in regards to DC.
There's
and
a lot
Peacemaker.
wrong with Peacemaker.
I
but-
just did not have time, because I would have saw I would have saw Black Adam in the theater. I didn't have time. I just had to. If I had to, I was picking one to see in the theater, and it was clearly going to be Wakanda.
Well, one thing I gotta add with this, and I want to get everybody's take, was that there were 3 characters in the movie that have been in the bigger DC universe. Which, again, at the end of the scene, we had Superman, Henry Cavill, we had Amanda Waller, and then we had what's her face that she was on Peacemaker, who's been known to work with Waller, who also appeared there as well. So again, it does tie into the bigger DCU, and it seems that Dwayne Johnson paid more attention to the Black Adam, and what it is kind of jump starting something what they're going to do with the DCU now that James Gunn has jumped on. Do you guys think now with those characters in there and the fact that James Gunn involved in the middle of all this, that maybe this will help more with the development of the character and the world around him than what we got in this movie?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I
feel
think
about
so. I mean, I think they need somebody. They need like a Feige to bring this all
James
together.
Gunn will be a Feige?
I don't think he. I don't think he'll be a Feige, but I do think they need somebody that can bring all these movies together and like kind of create a cohesive universe. Whether Gunn can do that or not, I don't know. He's always been very hit and miss with me movie wise, and that's including all his horror stuff and before he was doing superhero movies.
He has a specific lane and there's no deviation, and that's going to get old very quickly.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. But I liked Peacemaker. Like, I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I thought Peacemaker was good.
Seabass loves it.
But I would love to see him try something that is a little more serious.
Every day
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's up?
If Seabass could watch that opening dance sequence every day on repeat, he would.
I watched it one time.
I like that. I let it play every time too, to be honest with you.
I
thought that was great.
I'd skip it. I can't.
I thought Cena was good in that role. Like
Cena was good in that role.
Yeah, I loved him. Like he
did a good job.
Very much like The Rock, having a lot of fun playing this one character. But yeah, like. I know what you mean about James Gunn having like one lane though. Like I picture him doing everything like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I don't know if that's gonna work for every character. Although to be able to put a movie together like that with like a raccoon and a talking tree and make it work, I gotta give him credit there. But
now you mirror what you already made great. And Peacemaker, what was it? Suicide Squad? Was it the second Suicide Squad that he did?
Suicide Squad, yeah, he did the second one.
It was very much Guardians of the Galaxy vibes, but bootleg version, and didn't work for me anyway. There were moments in it, but I could not get behind that one at all. Gotcha. So I don't know. I think he will do well for some of the titles. I'm sure that he'll be able to bring something to the table. How long he'll be able to hold on to the quality, it's going to.
Well,
what is his job? Is he going to be like just a consultant?
He's doing Feige's. He's Feige light. So he's not going to create every single movie. We're not going to get a James.
But he's going to try to keep it cohesive, right?
Cohesive, and I think that's the thing. Like, I think we're looking at this in a sense of, well, every movie's going to be influenced by how. I think there are going to be some movies that he may do. But I think if he stays above 30,000 feet in the air and is overlooking the whole plan, we haven't seen that yet. So I think we can give him that benefit of the doubt for the time being. I feel like as a director for the superhero movies, aside from Suicide Squad, he's kind of earned that. So let's see what he can do.
Plus, he's co-CEO. He's because there's another guy too that's in charge with him. That's going to help oversee.
I think they would have been better off. James Gunn. I would have traded him in for like a John Favreau. I think. To run that universe.
No,
there's a guy that gets it.
He's not leaving Star Wars.
Right. Honestly, if you
I agree with you. It's the only thing he's got going. The only good Star Wars thing is John Favreau.
I don't want him to.
He could because we have Dave.
Who I always wanted for DC, who like has worked with DC, is a big DC fan, and get Kevin Smith.
He's
He's such a fan, like he's such an aficionado. Like, why would he put it in his hands? It's not like he doesn't know what it does.
To your point, Tony, I think what works for Kevin Feige is that he's kind of like the puppeteer, right? He just moves the pieces around. He doesn't direct. He doesn't write. He doesn't do any of that stuff. He just kind of says, okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. I think
This
like
works, that doesn't work.
Yeah. If James Gunn doesn't write anything, and I think that they hired him because they liked his writing, but I don't think that he's going to write these movies, right? And so
as long as he's
gotta be
good
able
enough
to manage them. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as he could manage that. You're right. George. I think that's the key. Like, because, you know, like looking at all his movies, even his horror stuff, it's all got kind of the jokey kind of tone to it.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So that's like, if you get too jokey, a lot of, you know, I hate to say it, a lot of Marvel movies are kind of like really jokey now. Like, I don't know. I can't imagine Black Panther 2 was that, though. That
No,
seemed
it
like
wasn't.
I was going to say, like, Ryan
Coogler.
It had moments, but the moments worked in the setting.
Gotcha. It wasn't like Thor 4, right? Okay.
No.
But like, and I know Coogler's like a legit filmmaker, you know, but I haven't seen it, George. George,
walked out by
George, should I go?
No, stay. No, we're good.
No, George, should I go to the movie? Should I go see?
Yeah, check it out. No, for sure, you got to check it out. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I could say this is that. Yeah, that out of the movies that came out this year, I kind of like gave a list. So I felt like Wakanda Forever and the Batman were the top 2 superhero movies this year for both studios.
I'm honestly surprised that you put Batman under Wakanda Forever.
The thing was why I put Wakanda Forever on top of Batman because that whole thing that with being a tribute to Chadwick and everything, that kind of like, you know, I felt the emotion for that. And that's why kind of like it. That's why it was up there. It's like this much up there, and that was one of the reasons why. I put Black Adam with Doctor Strange, but again, Doctor Strange beat Black Adam by this. And like I said, what hurt me for Black Adam was the Justice Society. I felt like they were forced. Like again, I agree with you, Lowell, like how the characters are, like with the animated movies and everything. Carter Hall being who he is, I just felt that we were in a setting that Kiss kind of forced them in the movie, and I felt it would have done better if we had the Shazam family made, probably just to tie them together. But that's the only thing that really dared. The movie was fun. I feel like Thor Love and Thunder was probably the worst superhero movie. It's still a fun movie, but you could see where Taka, someone's mentioned in the comics,
like
Taka,
worst ever.
It's not the worst Thor movie, but
Also,
you
did
could
you say
see
Taka again.
I say Taka again, yeah. Taka.
Pong, write that down.
Pong.
Pong,
Write
you
it
know
down.
You're out there, write that
Yeah.
down.
Oh, he's
where is
here.
A new challenger approaches.
Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
hey!
It's like we fucking summoned him.
Listen. I come into this and I'm like, yo, who's talking Wakanda Forever? Because I knew Keith, you didn't watch it, right?
Yeah.
I was like, who's talking Wakanda Forever with us? And Seba's like, it's just going to be us 3. And I'm like, oh, fuck this. we need bodies in here, so.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy to help. I just flew in from getting ready for the robot fight this weekend, and boy, are my arms tired. So forgive my appearance here. My camera's just all blown to heck. This is like the D cam here. This is like.
So Keith Pong Keith.
Hey, Pong.
Howdy.
Keith
Did you? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say Keith
You watched
hosts the
Black
Indie
Adam.
Comics Relay, but yeah. Oh wait, yeah. Did you
see Black Adam, or are you reading the home game of Black Adam on your Wikipedia?
So I was going to joke about it originally, but no, I actually did go see it.
Okay. And your thoughts?
I was gonna put money. I was like, let's play the home game for ourselves and see how far he lets it go before we try to figure it out.
If you ask me up front, that it's not nearly as much fun, because I will tell you. No, I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It was extremely. It was totally the love letter to T'Challa / Chadwick Boseman.
No, not Wakanda.
Oh,
we're not there yet.
What are we talking about?
I'm glad we're all on the same page except for George. No, we're talking about Black Adam.
Oh, I didn't see Black Adam.
There we go.
I didn't see Black Adam.
I was like, wow, this guy.
It was like when he first. I thought it was fantastic. Everyone was like, oh.
Yeah.
No.
And then he started saying the love letter. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
It was a love letter to abs. You know, like I wanted to see abs, and I feel like it fulfilled that mission of abs. It was just wall to wall abs. And then that one time when Black Adam turned to the camera and he was like, it's Adaman time. I was like, yeah. I was somewhere else for it.
Pull up the wiki. Pull up the wiki.
I don't even want. Look, here's the thing. I don't even care enough about Black Adam to pull up the wiki. I don't care.
I think we're almost at. I think
we're at the hour mark.
We're into the hour.
Oh man, I missed Black? Ah, dang.
You missed it.
Yeah, you missed it.
Dang it.
You got to be earlier next time, man. You're fucking up.
So Keith, I'm gonna give it a choice again. We don't want to spoil the movie for you. If you want to join us with the Black Panther, or it's up to you, brother.
We don't want to spoil it for you, but we can give you more moment. Plug your thing, and then before you bow out, that's perfectly fine also.
Okay. Quick question though: how is Namor?
Fine.
Better than you'd think.
Relax, Val. Relax.
I can't.
Wait. Hold up.
I can't wait.
First of all, okay, it is very much different. It's very different from what you expect from the comics, but what they did with it works. Okay.
Was the actor good?
Yes.
It was so good.
Okay, all right. You should go see it.
George.
And then let us. When we speak next week, you're gonna let us know what you think.
George, no go or what?
Look, Aurelis says.
This is great.
Stop doing George like that.
Go watch it.
Okay.
Listen to
Aurelis.
Aurelis says yes.
He's awesome. Okay, because I love Namor too, and he looked kind of cool in the comic. Now, is Atlantis in the? I'm doing spoilers anyways. Is Atlantis in the movie?
It's not Atlantis.
It's not Atlantis, but it's
called Atlantis. But it is Atlantis.
The thing is,
okay.
I think they wanted to separate from what Aquaman did with DC.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
it worked for what they did. It is not. Don't expect it to be like the comic books, though.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
All right.
But they did it.
Fair enough.
I think they did a good
But
job.
it didn't fail.
Keith,
That I will say.
Keith, don't expect it to be good. That way you're not disappointed. I'll say that. I'll say that.
I'll say this.
Your opinion, nah.
It's like
I'll tell you this. I've heard
it's a big
50-50
project
across.
like Civil War, where Civil War they didn't have all the stuff that they needed for it, all the stuff they wanted to do with it, but it still came out really well. That's what it was. They didn't have all the stuff they wanted to do, and then did a good job.
I've heard 50-50 across the board. Like,
well, let's not
most people like. No, either they thought it was a bore or people really liked it. So it's like now I gotta go see it.
If you're going in, if like you have this existing relationship to the Submariner and like who he is,
not really. I just kind of, I always dug him in the comics.
He's still an ass. He's still an ass. He's arrogant.
Was he arrogant? Oh,
yeah,
good.
He's still,
the core of the characters there.
It's Atlantis.
Okay, that's good.
Atlantis because of the.
There are differences though, and I don't think they did it in a poor way. That I will say. So it's definitely worth a watch.
The little wings are kind of cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And
way better than they should be.
Okay.
Way better.
What's that?
Way better than they should be. I was surprised. I thought it was gonna be stupid, but no.
Okay.
It was good.
All right.
Yeah.
But yes,
we're gonna give you the chance to plug away again.
Okay.
Do your thing.
All right. On YouTube, Indie Comics Relay. Me and Johnny C. Every other week we're usually live, although the next 3 weeks I think we're live weekly. So that and Mighty Mascots. If you go to recklesssidekick.com, that is my website, and you can check it out there.
Thank you, Kiki. Thank you for coming on, and we're looking forward to it.
Next week. Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to have you guys on. Maybe by then, if I haven't seen it, we can talk about it. But we'll figure something out to talk about. Definitely.
We're talking to chat too.
Keith,
yeah, definitely.
Keith, Mighty Mascots, awesome, brother. Can't wait to see 7, 8, 9, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Really
Thank you.
I really do like it.
I appreciate that, George. Good seeing you again, buddy.
Yeah, you too, bud.
All
See you
right.
soon.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Have a good night, and spoil away. All right.
All right, Tony.
I'm not doing a spoiler warning. There's no need to do a spoiler warning. Nope. We're just going right into it.
There's no need.
We're not going into it.
Hey,
Am I doing it?
Spoiler.
All right.
We weren't doing a spoiler.
Go.
I voted.
Should we not? Should I not?
I feel like because George is here and George always calls for like if we want it. George, you want a spoiler warning?
I'll do it. It's simple. It's really simple.
He walked out. He's biased. He's biased.
I didn't walk out. I saw the mid-credit scene.
I'll do it.
No spoiler warning. We're talking about Wakanda
No spoiler.
Forever.
Yeah, let's go.
This is why everyone is here and has waited an hour because we had to talk Black Adam.
Let's go.
I do appreciate
Oh,
you guys
shit.
calling me in for the last hour because I just so didn't care about Black Adam. I so didn't care. Hey, guys, look, I'm not a good guy, okay? No, I'm really not. I'm gonna save these people and I'm gonna kill the bad guys, but I'm not a good guy. I'm not. I'm not.
That sums up Black Adam.
I'm not the hey, I'm no hero, okay?
So, as everyone
not.
has heard or read, 5 of us have loved this movie or really liked it. There was an odd man out who did not like it. And instead of going around the horn and saying why all 5 of us loved it, I want to hear why George does not like it.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Don't we have a banner for this? Don't we have a George explain yourself one?
All right.
Yes.
So it's all about expectations, okay?
That's your fault.
Okay, exit the solo
Of
layout.
course, it's my
Exit
fault.
the solo-
Absolutely. But check this out.
Okay, fine. What expectations did you have going into this?
Greatness. I'm talking about. I wanted to come on this show and be like you guys. It was amazing. It was Black Panther 1. It was that. That's what I expected. Black Panther 1.
Hey, hold on.
But you expected that after Chadwick died?
Dude, yes.
Why would you expect that though?
Can I explain myself?
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
All
You know what?
here
Let
we
me
go.
stop asking questions and let you talk.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
all right.
Let
Again.
me make notes for what I'm gonna put.
Yes. So when I saw the trailers, right? That trailer, I was like, yo, they are gonna do this movie right. They're gonna do Chadwick right, which they did. They're gonna do Chadwick right. This is gonna be an emotional movie. It's gonna be an emotional roller coaster. We're gonna have some incredible things happening here. And then I went into the movie theater and I got a beautiful first scene. I was like, yo, this is gonna be dope. We got the purple Marvel with his images. Moment of silence. The whole theater was silent. It was beautiful, man. Great. And then we got into the movie. And although the first appearance of Ramonda was amazing, I mean, that woman should have been the Black Panther. Her arms are off the chain. Like, she looks incredible. I was like, wow, cool, excellent, good. But then what happened to the movie is, and I was talking to Sebastian about this, is what's been happening to Phase 4. They're more interested in telling us what's going to come up than telling a cohesive story within that movie. And that's my biggest problem. I didn't need Riri Williams. Didn't need her. I didn't need Valentina. What was her name? Don't need her. I don't need those characters. Don't push the next project on a movie as important as this one. Then I get the last scene and I'm back in it. I'm like, this is beautiful. See, this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Credits. We get the mid-credit scene. T'Challa comes back. Beautiful. Excellent. Beginning and end, beautiful. Middle of the movie, bro. Come on.
So you talk about the middle of the movie, but the things you highlighted in the middle of the movie were the little bits of Val, which I felt because of her role as CIA director made sense, and they really didn't push the whole thing. And then the other portion was Riri, who, sure, they're shoehorning her. I'll give you shit. They may be shoehorning her in for her miniseries, but I felt that she was a good. I felt that she a good addition to the movie without taking away from Shuri's journey or from the rest of the Wakandans. And it was just another character. And there's another tie back to Chicago because in Black Panther 1, when it ended, that's where they ended up. What happened?
That was in the chat.
Okay.
I'll talk about it here in a little bit.
And just, and just another tie back to Chicago because that's where Chadwick brought Shuri to like kind of start that program. So I thought she was
Wasn't that in Oakland?
I thought she
I don't.
was in
I
Chicago.
So she said Chicago.
or Oakland?
No, she said Chicago.
No,
She's from Chicago, but was going to school at MIT.
MIT,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, but Black Panther 1 when it ended, it's fine. It's fine.
That was in Cali. That was in Cali.
Oh, that was Cali. My bad.
Yeah.
That was my overall. That was my overall thought of it. There are specifics within too, but go ahead, Val.
George, my thing. Okay, I understand the Riri and the Val. You maybe didn't need them, and they didn't add much to it, but they didn't take away from the value of the movie.
they added about 20 minutes to that movie. It was like 3
No,
hour
listen,
movie.
hold on, time out. And so,
It
and
was long,
we've
and it
it wasn't
seemed
really.
long.
Hold on,
Yes.
okay. I enjoyed
official
Riri.
runtime 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Yes,
It wasn't
could,
that
it could have
long.
been 2 hours. It could have been
I
2
didn't
hours.
feel like it was that long because I enjoyed it, right? Here's my thing. I liked seeing Riri. There are many. Riri's a newer character, and a lot of people do not know who she is.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
So
okay.
bringing her and entering her in this way, especially because we don't have Chadwick. So they had to rewrite the story. I'm sure the original story included Chadwick having to say Shuri, but because now they take away from that, how do we tie in what we're gonna do to introduce a new character? So it makes perfect sense on why we have her. My only takeaway with Riri
Mhm.
is I don't like they made her very stereotypical.
Mm.
I think as an MIT graduate, a young genius, someone who created her own Iron Man suit, she can speak like a normal New Yorker with the accent, with the hood rat shit, right? But I didn't need her to be that stereotypical, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
I think that took away from her character from what I read her as in the comic books. She's a smart, very young girl, and she didn't need that perspective, is what I would say I didn't
Yeah.
like. However, I
yeah.
don't think it took away from the movie.
See, I see. To me, if you take her away, like you said, it doesn't change the movie, right?
She doesn't
so then
add
why?
to the
So
movie,
then,
and she doesn't.
so then why
hurt
have
the
her?
movie.
Why have her in there? Like for me, she was an eyesore. Like it was every time she came on, I was like, here we go, another genius in the Marvel in the MCU. Here's another smart kid, like Spider-Man, like Iron Man was, like Tony Stark was.
Like Shuri.
Like Shuri, like there's too many, like are enough.
That's
Like,
not.
that's
There's
really
not too
that's
many.
really like how it is in the comics.
and that's
Like,
fine.
Yeah.
That's why we didn't need her. We
Everybody's
didn't
There's
need,
never too many.
everybody.
I
we
mean,
didn't
I
need her in that
don't
movie.
I mean, we haven't
and
even.
Why else would
especially-
they be superheroes? We have idiots as superheroes.
I mean,
No,
we
no,
haven't
no.
even
Usually
gotten
the
Riri.
villains.
Yeah.
But
That's usually the villains.
No, but especially since she's gonna have her own show. You know what I'm saying? She's got her own show. So
Well,
But
let's
it
wait for her.
well, there's
show.
two
introduces her
shows,
to
but
those
there's-
masses.
They've already made it known that what was it, Black Panther was gonna have 2 shows spin off, which was Riri and the Dara Milaje.
But that's what
which
I'm
they're gonna
saying.
get
Like
their own show.
to me, okay, and that's cool. I like that. I like because they're already in that universe. So that's cool. Let's have a spin-off of that. That's beautiful. Listen, I think that having her in there took time away from M'Baku, who I think is an incredible character. I love the journey that
I don't think they took away
that-
from him at all.
No, he didn't have enough time on the screen.
He had
I
some
wanted
great
more.
moments.
I
No,
wanted
he did-
moments,
But
moments, but no
M'Baku,
storyline.
but M'Baku did exactly what he needed to do. He was an advisor to Shuri. The
Yeah.
story, like we were watching Shuri's journey to go through the grief of losing her brother, losing her mother, and then finding this kind of companionship between Namor and seeing the ideology between the two of them to then come out of all of that and realize that to be the Black Panther and to be the leader, she needed this group of people around her. And M'Baku was like, the role that he played was exactly what it needed to be.
Exactly.
I felt that between Black Panther 1 and what we see of him in a little bit of Endgame, and now he has grown so much as a character. And then we may see him in Black Panther 3, especially if he's gonna try to go for being king while Shuri's gonna be
But you see what I'm saying?
the Black Panther.
But Son, to your point, there's no arc in that character. You're right. He's just a plot device, which I think is not fair to that character because he was so important in part
M'Baku?
1.
But
I think that-
M'Baku,
well, hold on, Seabass. I think that we see him at the end come out and say, "Who I'm going to challenge for the king," right? And I'm like, where'd that come from? Like, I didn't see that like anywhere.
That's for
within the-
Shuri.
You know what I'm saying?
Like that's for Shuri. That's not against her. That's for her.
No.
So
Yeah,
because
no,
the reason I say that is because T'Challa, he had to be the Black Panther and the King simultaneously, right? Shuri has proved herself that has proved that she is definitely ready to be the Black Panther, but also in that scene that they had earlier earlier in the movie, it is also apparent to him and possibly even to her that she is not ready to be the queen, right? And so by him saying, she elected not to come, so I am challenging, so therefore she forfeits, and he becomes the king. Or you see what I'm saying? So
That
he's
makes sense.
challenged for leadership, right? And it would not surprise me in the slightest if that was actually preordained by Shuri, right? He's not doing it against her, he's doing it for him.
But we don't know that, right? And that's the problem. You're saying I wouldn't put it past that it's because of that. We're assuming when the story should have told us about that.
But you even there's even the little bits of exposition where like she talks about like, oh, like everyone came to you, everyone is flying to you, the elders are listening to you. Like you're getting these little nuggets of M'Baku's leadership and how everyone is coming to him. Because looking at Shuri and the journey that Shuri's going, she wasn't going to be Queen and Black Panther. Like she was consumed. She was too consumed by it. She wasn't ready for it. And like this whole idea of like, T'Chaka was king, T'Challa was Black Panther, right? So like T'Challa became both because he had to.
Right.
Shuri doesn't need to. And that's the thing of letting go of that and letting the people around you support you and growing and protecting this country. Now we'll see how it goes, if he's going to be king more of like a regency until she's ready, or like we're going to bring in T'Challa's son, or like we don't know how any of their legitimacy lines work, right? Like that's for them to do.
Like that we got a T'Challa, maybe not the way we expected it, but
I think that was really sweet.
Yeah,
I was not expecting
that,
and that was really
yeah, it's a nice way to let the character. But I mean, to the point, like this movie, part of Phase 4 has been dealing with grief, and it's kind of like something that you saw that Shuri was going on. And to Twin's point, she wasn't ready to have the mantle. M'Baku, like he told her, like I feel M'Baku served what he needed. Like first of all, like when he was talking about Namor, like he is strong as the Hulk. Like it was fun seeing him in the scenes that he was in, and it gave it up to the actor who's playing this character, because I think he's taking it further than the comic book character. So he's really embedded that character, and I feel that because we have seen him now step up, like his character in this mantle, going to be the king and all that, we're probably going to get more of his character. If you're going to see him in other stuff, hopefully, but it's like with M'Baku, it's like we're seeing more and more, and it's just they're teasing us a little bit with him. But in terms of that, I feel like this was more of Shuri's journey of dealing with grief. Because first of all, she wasn't dealing with the loss of her brother well, because she felt like she failed her brother. We get that instances in that when she's like, in the beginning, when she's trying to find whatever cure for whatever disease, then it's like in the middle of the movie, she has to deal with the grief of her mother after her mother dies, which is like, that's like, you've pretty much, she's lost her whole family. She's lost her father, her brother, mother. And then with what Namor did, you've lost the kingdom, where now everybody had to go rush to where M'Baku's people reside. And he was, with protecting, and the council was actually listening to him. This was really Shuri's journey of dealing with grief. That's why at the very end, which I thought was a beautiful scene too, with her seeing her nephew and burning, is like, this was just like, okay, I could let my, pain go now. It was very big volumes when she went into that plane to see her ancestors. She didn't see her brother, which obviously we know why she couldn't. She didn't see her father. She didn't see her mother, but we had Killmonger.
I didn't need that scene.
I thought it served well. I thought it served well because his character, his character was more embodied on hate and anger, and this is what Shuri was feeling at the time,
right?
And she did not realize that. It took her a while to realize that she was not the right fit for Wakanda because of all the grief, the hate, and everything she was feeling in her heart, and the vengeance that was there. Michael B. Jordan's character, Killmonger, is an embodiment of vengeance, and that's what T'Challa was against. Was that he wanted to burn the world?
I have a question about that scene, and I agree with you, Vmac. I don't think you needed it, but I guess she had to go to that astral plane, right? She had to go to some place after she took the
heart-shaped herb.
The heart-shaped herb, right? So, but why? Okay, so when T'Challa took it, he saw his dad, and then he ended up in that beautiful, tree.
The line of Panthers.
Yeah. Why didn't she go there?
Again,
why didn't she go somewhere like that?
Yeah.
So I think it's also because when Killmonger became,
Killmonger was the last one to take it, right?
He was the last one to take it, and he burned it So
He
when
burned
he
everything.
did that, basically when he did all that, I think he disrupted. It's kind of like in
Okay.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, when Korra like disrupted the spirit realm kind of
I
thing,
got
and
you.
like can't really connect with anybody. I think he did something to that effect.
Yeah.
I
But
actually
also-
look at
but-
it
but
more along the
Killmonger-
lines of. Oh, sorry.
No, just
I was
saying,
gonna-
I think it changes like whoever takes it. Killmonger took it
Yeah.
and he saw his dad in
Right,
the
yeah.
apartment.
Yeah.
So I think
In
it
his
depends on
apartment,
the person and
Yeah.
what you're feeling and all this. Like I
Mhm.
think
Killmonger says she summoned him.
yeah, because of her feeling. Like
Right.
Chadwick saw his father and said what he needed to say to his
Right.
father.
I
Like
think
had that,
Seabass
you know.
made a greater point as far as why, and it just hit me as to why. It makes sense as far as with what she was carrying, and that
Mhm.
relates very similar to how Killmonger was and who he was. Everything about him was anger, vengeance, wanting to be able to pay back everything that happened because they took his father from him, right?
Yeah.
So she was carrying a lot of hurt and anger, maybe even her feeling failure that she couldn't help her brother. So I think that's probably where that falls into place.
Pong, you gonna say
Yeah.
something? Pong?
Well, what I was gonna say, actually, somebody in the chat beat me to it there. I think I look at it kind of like a trip. You know, if you are in a certain mindset, you're going to go to a certain place. It's either you're gonna have a really good time or you're gonna have a really bad time, right?
Shrooms.
And like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And so Arelis is telling it in a much more in a much better way. But at any rate, yeah, it goes with whatever the person has in their heart. And T'Challa had unfinished business with his dad, right? Killmonger, he had unfinished business with his dad. Thank God there's no daddy issues in this one. But she was. What is it with daddy issues? But she
That's the whole
happened to have
MCU.
just, huh?
That's the entire MCU. Is daddy issues.
No, right? What's up with that? But no, he Thor and Loki, same dad, same issues. But no, the thing that I liked was or not that I liked, but the thing about this particular scene is like we were saying before. She had hate in her heart. She was just angry. She's pissed off. There's too much taken from her, and so she kind of went to that place where she would see Killmonger and summoned him in the planes. I think it's no less the planes. I don't necessarily think that it's broken. I think it's more working as intended. It's showing you what you need to see in your current state.
Now, I wanted to touch on Joe's parts because I know Valentina and Ironheart. I think it was okay to insert Ironheart. If we missed Ironheart in the movie, obviously, yeah, we wouldn't miss her. But I think it was good to because, like, again, everything in this phase has also been trying to set up the next generation of heroes that we're going to get. And it's reminiscent to when Iron Man 2 came out. They set up Black Widow in the middle of the movie. When Thor came out, they set up Hawkeye. So it's like it's kind of reminiscent to that with her character, where in some of the movies in like the first phase, they introduced other heroes in there, which it helped them later on, which is going to help this character, I feel, because they're introducing her to a larger audience now. With Valentina's character, I feel her character was there to show more of Martin Short's character, to show how high level he actually is in a way, because he was her ex-husband. And it's like, I feel like she kind of served more of it for his character development. But like, he was married to this person who's now the head of, so it's like, we're probably going to see more of him, like in more of the spy versions of the MCU, along with her character, to give that character more of like the role. I know what you mentioned too, like they're looking for the next Coulson, but I think that role has been filled by Wong. Wong is everywhere. It is Wong who is Coulson now.
Seabass is not Martin Short.
It's Martin Freeman.
Oh,
Martin
There
Freeman.
you
I
go.
meant
Martin
Martin
Freeman.
Freeman. Sorry, confused the Martin. It's Martin
Does that go
Freeman.
on the list?
No. I just confused the Martins real quick at the last names.
I'm
Martin.
like,
that's a
Martin
pass.
Short. What?
The Three Amigos?
They're vastly different.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're
huge.
pretty
Can you
different.
imagine? Oh, like, oh damn. My bad. No, Martin Freeman, because I feel like that does help more, because like again, when we got him in Wakanda in the first movie, and Black Panther, he was just a guy who got shot in his back, who got help for Shuri, and then it's like, he was just a regular agent. Now it's like, okay, this agent has more towards his background. So I feel like she was more there to serve his character than it was to serve the story for Shuri and everything. It was, and also too, the fucked up shit that she's probably gonna do with the Thunderbolts. Who knows?
And that's I guess, and I'll ask you guys this: do you guys think we needed that in this movie? Did we need it though? That's the question.
Where are we gonna get it?
Like
So-
I
the
don't
Val
think it
stuff-
was
I mean,
needed.
Thunderbolts. I mean,
It's
you
not
know,
the I think the Val
Ironheart.
stuff. I think the Val stuff we needed. I like how we knew that the last Black Panther ended with T'Challa opening up Wakanda, right? So we haven't had that discussion in these movies, in these shows. We haven't seen what that stuff is. You're dealing with Endgame. You're dealing with you don't know what's going on. So we needed to see something. I like that they're adding this world aspect of like what the superpower of Wakanda and like people literally dealing with it. Mind you, the United States and France and the rest of the UN is like, oh well, you need to help us because you've got all these fucking things, and they're all like, we've been around since the dawn of time, and there's never been a problem. We don't trust y'all because y'all started 2 world wars and a number of other wars. I like that we have that because Wakanda is now open. Everyone knows who Wakanda is, and Val is a part of that. She's part of that what's going on in the inner workings of the U.S. government to like
power
and wanting
Absolutely.
power and to take from Wakanda, because the whole point of the stories of Wakanda and Tolokan have been imperialism and have been people coming over to their country and taking everything from it and making it their own. And we're seeing that now. And I thought that's what worked really well with bringing Val in.
Also, too, I wanted to add to that was that this is a possibility of sowing the seeds that Val may become a big enemy also of Wakanda out there and may cause some international incident with Wakanda, because we still have the Thunderbolts movie, and one character that is being casted in the Thunderbolts is Bucky, who has ties to Wakanda. So there's a potential that we may be seeing a setup for a future plot device that's going to involve Wakanda because of her, and like with the whole thing of, because we haven't seen how the world is reacting to vibranium. We got that within this movie, and this is how like and Tulka Khan, I can't say the name, I'm gonna butcher the name of where Namor's from, where like they came down to the sea level to look for vibranium, and they're like, this is probably a setup with them with continuing to attack Wakanda for vibranium. This can also set up even a whole diplomatic with Wakanda with who knows with Doctor Doom, because again, Doctor Doom, Namor, and the Black Panther, they were representatives of their nations too, and they weren't really fighting each other. So that could also set up a partnership with Doctor Doom's nation and everything. I'm not going to say the name because I'm going to butcher it right now.
Without looking it up, is it Latvia or is it Latvia? I haven't looked it up.
It's
Latveria.
Latveria.
Yeah.
Latveria. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm done. I'm shutting up now.
I will say, like, as much as I agree that some stuff we didn't need, but it is what it is. Val was one of those things where I think it was just to show, like, to Tone's point, her power, her stakes in this, and like, what the behind the scenes things are happening. Because granted, we see all of the like nation versus nation, powerhouse versus powerhouse, but we know, like, on a huge scale, the government in this world controls a lot. So we're gonna see, and especially probably like towards Secret Wars, Armor Wars, all these other things, like, and Secret Invasion, we're gonna see that like completely unfold and unravel even more than when Hydra, took over. So I think that's just like why is she here? Why is she important? Why does she keep showing up? Like, what's her role? And I think it's just more so to plant the seeds of her. To Val's point from before, I don't know much about Riri, but I agree that I didn't like how they portrayed Riri. So like it just felt off to me. Like, I was just like,
the dorm room scene went on way too long.
I was bothered by
cringe,
that.
Man.
Which scene?
Which scene?
The dorm room,
The
like
dorm
where she's like trying to hold them off. It's like, okay, all right, calm down.
Oh
like,
my god, it was just
that scene was like, what the fuck is this?
And here's another thing: if I'm Riri, right, and I know about Wakanda, and Wakanda comes and says, "Hey, would you like to come live in Wakanda?"
Hell
you say yes.
I'm out. Let's go.
If someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really care for that, but I don't know. I can't understand why you guys are thinking that the U.S. government might become involved in destabilization of another country. That's weird. I don't know.
Why would we think that, right?
That's weird.
That's crazy.
They're the JSA. They're the JSA. We're coming around for international stability.
We're not talking about
I know,
DC
we're
anymore.
not.
I've seen the documents.
Honestly,
folks.
like there is that point. Like I kind of want to look at like the Ironheart comics to see like
She's a genius girl, made her own Iron Man
Right.
suit without any Iron Man tech.
Right.
Tony finds her and he's like really impressed with her and gives her a scholarship to MIT to craft her abilities. This is a smart young lady who doesn't need to sound like she's from the streets. She
Yeah.
can
Right.
have some streets vernacular because of her culture, but she doesn't have to be overly
right.
exposed that way when you have a college MIT student who's a fucking genius. It was a
I feel-
stereotypical role, and
feel-
I
yeah.
was upset at that
I
aspect.
feel that role's being copied a lot because she was very reminiscent. Like, did anybody see The Old Guard on Netflix with what's her face?
Charlize Theron.
Charlize Theron? Yeah. It was very reminiscent to the character that she went to go protect to in that movie, which
Okay.
was the same. It looks like it's an archetype that they're casting in movies now, which to Val's point, yeah, she didn't need to be like that. It felt like that was a
Well,
comparison I was seeing.
Yeah,
That was probably the only takeaway.
and that goes to my point. Be like, if you take her out of this movie, we don't even have this discussion, and we could just focus on the movie. You see,
I
she's
don't
an
want
eyesore
that to
I
make-
wish we could have.
I wouldn't say an eyesore. I valued having the character in it. What I didn't like is the overly represented of the stereotype. That's what bothered me about
And what
it.
sucks about that is that hopefully that doesn't continue on the show. Because
I hope
then-
not. And
you
I'm
see what I'm
hoping there's
saying?
enough
Like-
people that speak about that they
Right.
don't carry that into it
Right,
because
right.
I understand representation, right? And I know a lot of people may like seeing someone who's just like you, but she also doesn't have to sound like she can have. There's a balance. I'm hood. I know how to turn that off, and
Yeah.
especially when I'm talking about certain things, it's
Right.
just it didn't need to be portrayed the way it was. Not mad at it, but it could have been better, if that makes sense.
I'm mad at it.
I wanted to switch gears a little bit. Because one thing we have not
There's
spoken
Namor?
about is Namor.
Namor.
Okay, can I say?
Namor,
I,
Talocan, like that. A lot of that was really well done.
and I just need to
George.
say, I just need to say this. So initially, when this was casted, I was disappointed. I thought the guy from Crazy Rich Asians, the guy who played Adam, I thought that would be a better casting visually, right? He looks like the comic book character of what I envisioned for it, right? Then I see this short Spanish dude. What are they doing? This doesn't work. I didn't understand it. I incorporate every one of us as short. Anyway,
I mean,
not
George,
all four.
Apparently,
Okay, all right.
apparently, I gave
That's a
Short King
stereotype.
energy until she met me.
yeah. Okay, that's beside the point. That's beside the point.
Okay. All right.
My image,
I'm
right?
waiting because, like, I remember we had this discussion. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, Val. He's gonna be great.
Right. I completely was not happy about this casting. However, seeing this and what they did with it, I loved it.
Namor is
I am
5'7"
not
and
mad.
3/4. By the way,
Thank you. Short. Exactly. With that said, I mean, he's kind of short.
The
so
actor?
with that,
Oh,
the actor, not actually Namor. Namor isn't supposed to be that short. But with that said, I thought they did a very good job in making this character, reinventing it in a way that it still held to the character, reinventing it in a way that it makes sense for the MCU universe, and adding culture to it. There are some things that I was like, okay, it works, but
underwater feathers.
the underwater feathers, I'm not mad at.
No, I know. I'm just messing with you.
I'm not mad at,
I'm mad.
honestly, because it adds more of a culture
Yeah,
to it
it
for
does.
me. I think also the way he flew around, the way he was a badass throughout this entire movie for me. Right.
I'm not sure. Not sure why that gives me a chance, but all right, sure. All right.
Chance at what?
I don't know.
I just thought I mean, his arrogance throughout it, how he knows how he needs to carry a certain way, how he's the responsibility of leading his people.
Yeah.
Them pulling away from calling it Atlantis, I'm not mad at. After watching it, I think it worked for what it was. With that said, that was my 2 cents. I wasn't happy when I first thought it, but after seeing it, it worked.
I think it was smart they did that too with him. And then I'll give it to you, Pong and George, and everybody else. I think it was smart that they went this route with Namor only because one, it distances themselves from what DC did, because of the fact that we already have Atlantis introduced in the Aquaman movie, and it gives them the separation too. It kind of fit for his story because it explains his long life. Because one, he's a confirmed mutant in the MCU.
Yes.
Like he is in the comics, so he's a known mutant confirmed.
He's been around a long time.
And two is the fact that he's been around for a long time since the colonizers and everything colonized and with his people and all that. He could have they can also write in his involvement with World War II, like how he was involved in the comics with the invaders and all that. They could write in a lot of stuff that he may have been in and out of Marvel history with what if they decide to revisit period pieces. There's a lot they can do with this character, and I do like the simple fact is like he really did embody anti-hero. It was written perfect where it's like he's doing what he is like to protect his people at any cost, but yet he's like with Wakanda and all that, like at the end it's like he's playing the long game. Like, yeah, they're gonna come to us for help when they see that the world are a bunch of assholes, and so he's like playing the long game. And it's kind of like I'm looking forward to seeing this portrayal when we get like the Fantastic Four, because you can't have Namor, you can't have the Fantastic Four not interact with Namor. That's going to happen, and then whatever interaction with Doctor Doom when
just so he can
Doctor Doom
hit on
Sue Storm. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. He's
in front of Reed. It has to be in front of Reed.
Yes.
Disrespect on this man.
First of all, Namor, he gets the bitches. He bags the bitches, bro.
I know he bagging them. I'm saying he doesn't.
Mind you,
but first of all,
Namor
in the realm of I don't give a fuck energy, in the realm of Black Air Force energy, I want the smoke energy of fuck boys. He is epitome of fuckboy Black Force energy. This dude is outrageous.
Is one of
I know some of those words.
Sorry. Sometimes the Bronx has to come out of me. Sometimes.
No. Go right ahead. I'm the guest.
It works.
George, I want you to give your thoughts on Namor and Palm.
I know he didn't like it, but whatever.
No. Listen, man. Unlike UV, I came in with high expectations. I thought this kid.
Really?
I thought he was going to kill the role. I think
he did, though.
I loved the casting. I loved the fact that they got him to do it. I loved the fact that they switched it up, and it wasn't going to be Atlantis. It was going to be this whole thing. I was for it. I was 100% for it. Where I think where it failed for me as far as Namor was his motive, right? And I say that because he's going after the scientist who created this machine, right? That was his whole thing. He's gonna kidnap this girl because he's upset that they found his underground world, which he's been protecting for many years. And I don't know, in his mind, for some reason, if he got rid of this girl, what was that going to do? Was that going to now, not let anybody else find them? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, but how? The machine was already built.
Well,
she made one. They needed her again to make another, and it was something that she didn't even intend to make for the U.S. government.
Also,
why would they need her?
But also,
why? She's the fucking genius.
She's the only one that can make it.
Yeah,
right.
She doesn't have a patent. She doesn't have any of that. She made it in a fucking garage. So they needed her to make it. And if you kill,
unless you just find another Tony Stark level brain that isn't busy doing something else.
Also, too, he wasn't going after her directly. He was forcing the Wakandans to go after her. So he was having them do their dirty work. He didn't want the world to reveal.
That doesn't change the point.
Yeah.
I mean, because he didn't want to reveal his people, period, right? And he usually will just get rid of anyone who has any kind of insight. But I understand why he wanted to take her out, because she's the reason why they can be undiscovered.
No, but here's my thing. So, all right. So this machine was built. It was down at the bottom of the ocean. They found the vibranium, right? They found it. It's already been found. They were on this big ship, which the opening sequence where he comes out is kind of cool, right? With the sirens. And I thought that was really dope. I love that
dope.
scene. That was very like eerie, right? The way they like, what the hell's going on? They pulled this.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, I mean neither. And that was dope.
The sirens is really cool because it just adds to the myth of sailors hearing songs. It was very cool.
So I enjoyed that. But the thing is, if they found what the vibranium is, they know where it is. Like they already found it. Like it's not like they're still searching for it. They know where it is.
They know
so
a spot.
The job is done. Right, but that's what I'm saying. They start there.
That
And
can be moved.
So you're saying that because they found the one spot, they ideally should have sent that information and data back to home base.
That's it.
Right.
That's
and
it.
that they can go back there.
So his motive for finding her, for me, at that point, didn't make any more sense. To me, at that point, it was about I'm gonna go after these Earth dwellers. Now they found me. All right, they're about to get it because they found me. Okay, now we're gonna now it's gonna be war against these.
My assumption is the sea floor, the sea floor has more vibranium than we think and that we know. And it's more about protecting where they're locating or where they're looking in the area of the vicinity, because once they start looking for more, it will lead them to where he is and his people is, and he doesn't want to relocate his entire tribe again. That's where he wants to prevent them from being able to find. And you have this machine, it will lead them to his vibranium.
Also, too, there's an assumption too. Again, and I get what you mean with that, Dirge, but there's an assumption could be that the data probably wasn't transmitted back to home base in time.
But we're assuming it. The story should have just told us that, so that we didn't have to assume. That's my issue. The issue is that the assumptions. That's my issue with the whole thing.
But I mean, that's kind of the whole thing with telling a story, though. You don't want to say, "Oh, by the way, this is a surprise tool that will help us later."
No doubt.
You know,
I get that, Pom. But if you're telling me that I'm going after this particular character for that reason, I don't want to assume that it's because of whatever else. You're right. That is part of telling a story, but part of telling a good story is giving us enough information so that we're not assuming I like the part. What I tell you this, what I like about that part, that writing was, for example, when Okoye and Angela Bassett's character, I can't remember her name right now, when they were going at it, and she says to her, "You lost my daughter. Guess what? You're being stripped of your title." And at that point, now we can say to each other, you can agree with her, or I can agree with Okoye, and we can have the discussion because it's in the story. Now they put us at odds, whether you're for Okoye. I get that. When I'm talking about when I'm trying to follow your story along, yes, you're right. You don't give me everything. I don't want the whole thing, but you got to give me enough so that I'm not assuming what you're trying to tell me.
I'm thinking like this. I'm thinking that they're looking for different veins of vibranium. They probably found one vein, and it's going to be treated like an oil. Where it's going to be treated like oil. We're going to drill that one spot. So sure, people could probably come back there and keep getting killed by Namor's people. That's probably what's going to happen. The whole point is they're not going to, but the people who are researching and looking for, they're not going to blindly go through the bottom of the ocean like they're fucking James Cameron looking for the Titanic. Right? They're going to stay in that one spot. They're going to bleed that vein dry. But eventually you're going to need another machine.
And if there's anybody there, we're going to need to free them. They're going to need some freedom. But so similar what I was going to say earlier, actually, I'm glad that they did change it from the story, because from what I understand, the original story, which actually came out before Aquaman, was so similar to Aquaman that if they would have released that, Johnny Depp would have sued it. So
Johnny
I don't
Depp?
think Amber Heard is in the Aquaman.
I got it.
I'll do it. Here's a circle over here. Okay.
You didn't have to lead me to it.
Amber Heard.
The thing is, with when you tell too much of it, right? It like the feathers. Here's a great example, right? I can totally make the feathers make sense because it's something that doesn't exist in their world. Just like we would have to go into the earth to get gold, right? He has to go onto the land in order to get feathers. So they are more rare where he comes from, because people have to literally risk their lives and breathe not water in order to in order to get to the feathers. So that makes sense. But for them to show the process of him going on land to hunt a bird and to kill it and to bring the feathers down and strip the feathers off the freaking bird, it's like, no, that's just chores.
You
right?
forget they got to treat the feathers too, so it doesn't.
You got to treat the feathers. If you don't treat the feathers with this rare thing that only grows on the mountains of Wagga Wagga, then you're done, right?
Wagga Wagga.
You heard me.
Oh my God.
Hey, look, just because you haven't been there, okay, I can give you any right to criticize the Wagga Wuggians, okay? Just leave them alone.
Sorry, Pong.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I get carried away. I'm sorry. But no, these I guess what my point is that like I was saying before, you don't have to have the whole thing all spelled out for you. Sometimes you just got to accept, Riri's there. There's a giant monster sticking out of the ocean that no one's really talking about still, but like there's all this stuff.
Bad too.
No, they talked about it in She-Hulk.
I know.
Not Divergence of Eternals. Absolutely not. Keep going.
What's it? We what now?
We're not diverging from Eternals.
Oh.
Good.
I don't know. I actually didn't mind it.
The most that we're like, no, let's keep on track that we've ever been in such a long time.
Right.
This is good. I love this.
Look at us behaved.
Look at us.
Look at us.
Who would have thought?
Bel's gonna give us all 1 star on our chart. 3 more, we get a pizza party.
Guys, I really want that pizza party.
Let's go for it. Let's do this.
I believe in us.
I believe in us.
We just can't get pizza from Vegas.
I can't.
No, you really can't, honestly. Actually, there's a Detroit-style pizza place that's really good.
Actually, no. Pizza Barn in Yonkers. 2 feet sliced.
Oh,
And
Jesus
now we're
Christ.
off track again.
Yep. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, there we go.
Damn
There
it.
we
Now
go.
you got no
Hold on,
pizza party.
yeah.
Fuck.
See, you're on
I
camera.
will-
Okay.
I will say also, why I can't ever think of Lupita's Nakia. I loved her story. I loved her story because they, it was one of those things like, where is she? Like, why isn't she there? What's the deal? And then you have Ramonda going, I need you to bring back my daughter, whatever, what have you. And like we're slowly understanding like why she hasn't been there, why she didn't go back, and then finally at the end, that payoff of we had a kid, this was our wishes for us not to go, and you're just like, damn, that's a real one right there. Like she's so good, like she was so clutch throughout the whole thing.
I was really bothered at the fact that they decided not to recast T'Challa. They decided, granted, I love Chadwick Boseman, right? And I thought he did a great job, but I was like, don't take away the actor doesn't make the character.
But
right?
why?
At the same,
if the mantle has been passed, like in the comics, the mantle's been passed to Shuri, so why not give it to Shuri?
But it was too soon for it to pass to Shuri, right?
It's too late now.
No, right at this point in MCU, I get why we had to, but however, in the comic books, Black Panther had more to give, right? And I didn't want them to pull away our Black Panther character as T'Challa and not recast. What they decided to do with this puts T'Challa back in that process again.
And I think
we can recast
them,
them, and
did very well.
we can recast them. We don't need to worry about comparing him to Chadwick because that was my problem.
Yeah.
My problem was that if we recasted him, and it doesn't matter how good he is,
Yeah.
maybe some people can, maybe some people can look past it because we had this conversation at Comic Book Car and where people were able to get, and I think they're all lying and they're all fucking liars. You watch this movie and you cast him with whoever. John David Washington is one of the many people that come up a number of times who probably would have killed it as T'Challa. But I'm gonna watch this movie and be like, I miss Chad. I want Chad to do it. That's
Also-
it. I don't care how good it is.
Also-
I'm gonna say it. So like this. Down the
is
line,
acceptable.
we get our time jump, or after Secret Wars and shit happens, and we want to get it to T'Challa, we can get it to T'Challa because he's just the son of T'Challa, and then you can get your new actor.
Right.
It's acceptable.
Also,
T'Challa 2.0. Hey.
Yeah, I love it. I love what they decided to do with that. It's my point.
Yeah.
Also,
It's like Shuri is kind of the piece of what is that, ginger in between pieces of sushi. It's like the palate cleanser.
Yeah.
The palate cleanser, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
okay.
listen, and we also don't know how long Letitia Wright's going to be in the MCU because she's got her own fucking thing she got to deal with.
Also, can I talk about Shuri just for a moment?
Yeah.
I don't like the actress.
Okay.
That's it, right?
I mean, yeah.
I just feel like she's
Letitia.
A lot of
not.
people like her.
She's just
James.
wasn't convincing for me, and also I don't see she's not a strong enough actress for me to feel for her, if that makes sense. And that was one thing that I didn't feel for her struggle entirely. Like a lot of people got really emotional throughout the whole movie. Oh, they told me, "Oh, do you have your tissues ready? You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry." I watered up a little in the beginning for for
The
Chadwick,
beginning is
but
the
I
beginning
already
is
mourned him
But
when he first passed, so I didn't get emotional like that.
Mhm.
And
Did
anything
anyone
else
else feel
outside
like
of
the
that, it was
beginning was really short? Because like I got really sad at the beginning, but it felt like it happened so fast that I had to process. Oh shit! This is
It,
how they
it
took
was.
care of this.
It
yeah,
was. So like the
it
beginning
was fast.
happens and they jump right in and you're dealing with it. So I didn't really get. I didn't feel it like the
Yeah,
little.
it didn't. It
It didn't
didn't
happen to
resonate.
me
It,
until after the
Yeah.
funeral, and then you get the Marvel, and you just
Right.
see all the
Yeah.
images of Chad, and I was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, they should have
Yeah.
stayed. They should have stayed with that scene a little longer. Like when she tells him he's passed. They should have
Yeah.
probably stayed a little longer with that. They
mean-
boom, they moved right to the next scene.
I mean, for me, it was the beginning and then the end when it was like,
Mhm.
when she saw it's like
Yeah.
that end credit scene. I felt that was what kind of brought that together. I agree with the fact with Litzy because I know that they had a lot of problems with Letitia, right? With her whole thing trying to like with being anti-vax and
Right.
behind
Mhm.
the scenes, so there were little problems with her there. As far as
Really?
it goes, yeah, there
Yeah.
was a lot of issues with
Yeah.
her behind the scenes. Like
She's so skinny to me to be a Black Panther. Just
She didn't look
it
good
just
in the
drives me
suit.
crazy. It's like, oh my
Yeah.
god, and I don't think she's the
I mean-
greatest actress either. And it's like, oh my god.
I think that's
I
what they did the whole split too with power because at the end of the day they split the power between her and M'Baku, so it's kind of
Yeah.
leaves it open where they want to go with the role next of the Black Panther, where it's like because a lot of people they were like we want M'Baku to really be the role
But
'cause
Prince
Can't wait to see
T'Challa,
Winston.
No.
Can't wait to see
No.
Prince
Winston Duke
T'Challa
and
can
um,
still
in
come
the
back.
in the see
in the
Winston
suit.
Duke in the UN. That's what I want to
yeah,
see.
Oh,
yeah, that's
yeah.
interesting.
Oh,
But
I
the-
would love
God.
him in there.
Problem.
Start howling at people.
Right, right.
Like who do you think you are?
You do
The
not.
other thing-
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is, I mean, a lot of
I ain't
fans
doing
in the
it.
beginning when the movie was first coming out, and when they were talking about it, a lot of people didn't want them to recast for T'Challa in the beginning. It
I
wasn't
know.
until the movie was fully made and people was like, "Oh, you need to recast it. You need to," and it was like, "Dude, we've already made the movie." Because
They said from the jump they were going to recast him. Like,
Yeah.
and a
Kevin
lot of
Feige-
people were very
like,
supportive of that.
Kevin Feige was like, "We're
Yeah.
not gonna
I know
recast
they
him."
said that.
Yeah,
I
they
was
owned it.
disappointed by
Yeah.
that
How could
announcement,
you?
though.
Like what? Like I don't care what actor you are. You don't want to step into those
No,
into
it was
those
a
shoes.
big
I
role to fill.
understand that. My
Mm.
thing is, the MCU is a larger universe that one actor doesn't define.
It's not that, but you just gotta. It's just it's
It's
I
a
understand.
sudden
impression.
It's
passing.
the
Sudden-
time.
Yeah.
the
Right.
sudden
Absolutely.
passing
Absolutely. I'm
of-
not being
Yeah.
insensitive to that. I love Chadwick
No,
Boseman as an
no.
actor. What I'm saying is, as a Marvel fan, as a Marvel reader, I do not want these actors to be the only thing we know of these characters.
Well, that's what
These
the
actors
multiverse.
should not
That's
define them.
fine, but you have to. You also have to like. Sure, as a fan, we want to see these characters play out, but like you have to look at the lens of whatever actor is going to take on this role. Like it's
Right.
different. Like Heath Ledger passed away from being Joker, but that doesn't mean but no one is coming in. No one in the future playing Joker is coming in to fill Heath Ledger's shoes.
Right.
Heath Ledger is the Joker
Right.
for Nolan's Batman, and it's a tragedy that he passed away. But
Yeah.
what we're getting moving forward, no one's saying, "Oh, he's the." Like you are literally coming into this role and you have to fill Chadwick's shoes. Like that's an internal conversation you need to have within yourself and be like, can I, one, do this? Can I, two, take the pressure of this from the outside world? And three, what if I fuck this up?
Mhm.
What's it gonna
Yeah,
do
right.
to me? There's so many external factors.
That's a
For that-
I get
clear
that.
Like, that's
would you have waited like an extra 2 years for a Black Panther movie?
I
No,
did
I
see
think
that.
you.
no.
I think you by going with Letitia was actually the really smart play, and I'm saying with this with the gift of hindsight, right? But that was the really smart play because it's not going to be compared exactly. Even if Chadwick Boseman was alive and there was a contract dispute and he's just like, I don't want to do it anymore, bye, right? Wouldn't have happened, but let's say it did. even in that case, right? You still don't want the next person to be compared because it was such an iconic character that if you put someone that kind of sort of matched him, it would have been weird. But by putting Letitia Wright, yeah, by putting Letitia Wright in there, you're completely changing it anyway. So there's less room for you to try to compare in the first place, right? Because the two obviously completely different people, right? Yeah. So yeah, I think the way they did it was absolutely the right way to move it. Yeah, to do
Also,
it. Yeah.
Absolutely, how they turned it out was good.
Yeah.
Also, too, with the introduction of the multiverse, we're probably going to see different actors as different versions of characters.
Yeah,
because they've already introduced the concept. I think with T'Challa, with the passing of Boseman, it was very sensitive. So they had to make sure and I think they handled it right with like, he's a junior now. We have someone, and it like to Tone's point, it lives there. It's not like the situation when it's not the Rhodey situation where we got rid of Terrence Howard and now we have Don Cheadle.
But even currently, like in our current world right now, Kevin Conroy just passed away. He's the voice of our Batman, right? But like every other voice of Batman that's coming up, I think that the most current voice actor, Soldier Boy, right? Ackles, right? He's got his own vibe for it. But like Jason Ackles, who played Soldier Boy.
Jason Ackles, whatever, right? He's being the voice.
I didn't butcher it.
You said Soldier Boy, and I'm like, wait, what?
He
the guy who made Superman?
He was Soldier Boy in The Boys.
That's what I thought.
Whatever,
okay, good. Thank you, Vmac.
Whatever.
I was like, wait, what?
Soldier Boy? Honestly, I was gonna let it go.
Whatever. You can write in your fucking book if you want to. It's fine.
Okay,
it'll
right.
be overwritten by whatever Seabass says.
No,
anyway,
Soldier Boy, that tracks because that's who the character played. I just didn't know that. That's on me.
I immediately thought
no.
Superman or
No.
Okay, right.
Damn it!
I'm trying to make a point here.
What?
I'm trying to make a fucking point here.
George is gonna have
hey, I'm Batman. I'm gonna Superman that. Anyway, sorry.
I'm trying to make a point here.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
Cameron Conroy just passed. He's the voice of our Batman, but none of these voice actors coming in are gonna be held up to Kevin Conroy. They're not. You listen to all of them, and you're like, "Oh, cool, whatever." That's it. I'm not. I don't compare them to
does
Kevin.
A great job in that podcast. What was it? The Batman.
Yes, he does a great job. But like, I'm not in there thinking I'm just not comparing them to Kevin. I'm just not. Like, Kevin is my voice of Batman. He is my voice of Batman, and he to me is the pinnacle. But I am not judging these other people coming in because I get it. But like, we're gonna do that with a fucking actor. We're gonna do that with this mantle because you see them. You see them. Like, it's just so hard.
Again, I'm not against what they did. It worked out for what it was. Initially, I had my reservations, but I'm happy with how it turned out.
You know, for a second, I was telling Seabass today, like if they would have made this particular story that we watched an 838 story, where like the T'Challa in 838 died, and that was Boseman, and then we go back to 616 and made another T'Challa, like another T'Challa comes back into the fold, that could have worked also, just because of the multiverse that we have going on. Like you said, different people can play the characters now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Boseman's character could have died in one world, in one universe or whatever, but we can have T'Challa in another universe now because of the multiverse.
We may get that. I think we'll get that in Secret Wars. I think we're going to have another Black Panther.
I think we're going to do. I think
and that's totally acceptable.
Yeah.
And don't forget too, what if introduced the concept that what if Killmonger became Black Panther, and we saw what happened with that, and what if is coming back for season 2, they're going to introduce more concepts. I think that this, because it's the main MCU, it was a great way to pass the torch in order for like the next actor doesn't have the pressure to feel like they're replacing Chad, where they're adapting it. But like, we're probably going to get different versions of Iron Man. Like, for example, when we saw the Multiverse of Madness, a lot of those were fan casting. They were paying attention to what the fans were asking when it came down to, and they said too, like if schedules matched, Tom Cruise almost would have been casted as Superior Iron Man in Multiverse of Madness. We probably would have seen that. which we probably may get down some line. And even Kevin Feige now announcing that he wants to try to do a bigger Avengers assembly scene in the next 2 Avengers movies.
I heard that.
And rumors are that they're thinking about also casting people who have played past Marvel characters in the Fox X-Men movies. So we may see again a lot with the fact that we're getting this we're getting phase 5 starting with Ant-Man. Ant-Man's going to open up Kang, and we're going to see a lot more wherever it goes. That's going to answer the next set of Marvel movies coming out and shows.
I heard this somewhere, and I want to see if you guys can verify or say I've never heard this in my life. I'd heard somewhere, and I can't remember where, that that there was a chance that Deadpool 3 might do Deadpool kills the Fox Marvel universe.
That would be very fun.
That would be funny.
I would love that.
All right, how awesome would that be? I think Kelsey
Kill 'em
Grammer.
all.
Right? I think Kelsey Grammer came out and was like, if they don't let me play the Beast, I'm never watching Marvel again.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you think about it, it kind of tracks because one is there's rumors that Owen Wilson's going to be in Deadpool 3, which is from TVA. Hugh Jackman is signed back on with to be Wolverine, and and this could be and Ryan Reynolds has said that this Ryan Reynolds said that this will probably be his last outing as Deadpool, so we'll see where this goes from that. But they're talking about that this Deadpool 3 is probably going to end up opening up.
Ryan Reynolds. I don't think Ryan Reynolds is giving up Deadpool.
He probably is going to take a break to focus on his business for a while before he jumps into the saddle, or whatever conversations he has with Kevin, or he could just be fucking with people because it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. I think that'll be his last Deadpool movie, but he'll keep being Deadpool in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
He'll be, oh god, this guy.
And it's going to open up more with the multiverse from what they're saying too, and probably bring Deadpool or some of those characters into Secret Wars.
Yeah.
But that would be dope. Deadpool kills the Marvel universe. I mean the X-Men universe. That would be reminiscent.
I would love that.
Oh my god. 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 Guys. What if he brings in the Iron Fist?
Just to kill him?
Just to kill him.
That would track with the Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe comic when he was just killing off everybody. That would track. And he was like, he's like, I'm just reading my comic. You're when he was making fun of Wolverine, calling him your derivative character, you're gonna keep coming back because the studio wants to bring you back. I will laugh if they did that scene where he's just killing Wolverine. He keeps killing him and keeps killing him. He's like, they're gonna keep bringing you back. That's why, because of plots. But yeah,
I'm just over Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe this could be his last one, or this could just be a
Please
version.
stop.
Of
I didn't need him to come back either. I'm sorry.
Why are you so over him? Why no
Give
Wolverine?
me a real Wolverine. I never liked. I enjoy him. I can accept it, but I never accepted.
Damn.
Oh,
sorry.
Wolverine.
I want real Wolverine, a 5'5" guy who's got an attitude, who's Canadian.
You don't
I
want the sexy Australian playing Wolverine?
No.
We will cast. We're gonna start.
I've always had issues with Fox's.
I think Daniel could do it, man.
Daniel Radcliffe needs to bulk up quite a bit, but I think he can pull it off.
I heard he did.
Daniel Radcliffe is a really good actress.
Oh yeah.
No, he has one role that he needs to do, and that is to play the live action Phil in the Hercules movie. That's what he needs to do.
Honestly, yeah.
That's all he needs to do.
This man just said cast Danny
You said short guy.
I mean, in general, cast Danny DeVito.
Danny DeVito's
he's a nice
like
guy.
5 feet.
I'm just playing. No.
Listen, so is Wolverine. Wolverine's literally 5'1".
He's 5'5".
There were rumors that the guy who was in Kingsman, who played Eggsy,
I would like that.
There was rumors that he would possibly,
I remember hearing that one.
I think he's a good casting option for that, and I think he can pull it off. Daniel Radcliffe has the acting chops for it, but physically doesn't look like he can pull it off.
I think what they're gonna do is this, and this is just, and I'm
steroids are a hell of a thing.
Oh yeah, this is
what trainer is a hell of a thing, guys. Come on, you can body transform like Christian Bale, you'll be all right.
I'm gonna
healthy.
I'm gonna add this out there, and I just want you guys just to weigh in on this. So like a lot of the, God damn it, I'm gonna add that I think that they're letting up a lot of the actors who did the Marvel Fox movies to finish up their contracts, and they're probably going to sneak in their versions of the characters with the whole multiverse thing. That's
yeah,
what
2025, I believe, is when we have to wait.
Yeah.
So that's why you're going to get Hugh back as Wolverine, but we're probably going to see whoever they cast for future roles. I think that was more of Ryan Reynolds. I think that was more of Ryan Reynolds wanting to push this because he's been wanting to do, because he's been joking about it for a long time. But guys, what are we talking about next week?
Next week we've got damn Seabass, I was not prepared. What's next week? Oh, next week is our Thanksgiving episode? No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Next week is Thanksgiving.
Our Thanksgiving episode I think is after. I'm sorry.
Thanksgiving is
next Thursday.
the 22nd.
Thanksgiving is next week.
So the 20th. I'm looking at the calendar right now. It's feel good.
What do we have scheduled? What do we have?
Week off. Family movies. I would have been pissed. I would have had the wrong week off.
Yeah,
we were talking about family movies that episode next week.
So Fast and Furious.
Feel good family movies for the holidays.
So we're doing a holiday episode next week. It's our Thanksgiving holiday episode.
All right.
Feel good family movies.
Great.
Sure.
That's subject to change.
Did you guys agree to this when I was in California?
No one's excited about that one.
I don't understand. Was that agreed upon when I was in California? I don't remember.
No,
to this.
Is it ever agreed upon, or does it just happen somehow?
You know what's going to happen is that the Nerds episode is going to be our holiday episode. We're going to give our thanks, maybe talk about some of our favorite family movies, but we're probably going to go off the rails because that's what we do.
We just have our favorite. Well, why don't we just have a Friendsgiving episode where all of our friends come over and just talk about bullshit?
We're just going to open the door.
I like
the
that.
Everybody
the fucking tone.
Tone, you're a genius.
Like, true.
I'm gone for a week, I'm coming back with bars,
Spitting fire.
After that, we also have our final to round out Andor.
I gotta watch that shit.
Yo,
bro,
it's pretty good.
Wait, hold on.
I'm not avoiding it because I don't want to watch it. It's just one of those
I know, but where are you at?
Where we left off when we first talked about it.
3 episodes? That's it?
Yeah, I wanted to wait for it to stack. But
okay, when you watch,
I heard
when
episode
you
10
watch,
is very
hit
good,
me up.
apparently.
Hit me up, bro. Oh my god, it's so good.
How many episodes is this thing?
It's like 10, right?
12. It's at
12.
10 now. We're getting 11 this week. Next week is 12.
All right.
Yeah,
it's been pretty good.
It's 6 episode. Oh my god, it's just number 10 was it was just so good. It was just so good.
Shit.
Right.
This is like my favorite Star Wars thing.
Okay.
Pretty much. Like,
It's great.
Can we fucking talk Tales of the Jedi, please?
Yes, because it was so fucking great. Also, we can talk that when we do the Andor finale.
Tales of the Jedi.
Yo, when are you guys gonna talk about C?
Good.
C is going to be December 6th. December 6th. That's my after birthday episode.
Really?
My last episode with the guys also.
Have you started Seabass? You have
for this
16.
year.
Yeah, I'm watching C.
No, not leaving.
I'm gonna surprise you guys. Don't worry.
I have no faith in Seabass. I've decided we're moving on without him if he doesn't watch C.
It's real good.
It's good.
I'll get you a link to the
6th.
Wikipedia.
December 6th, we're going to. You know what?
But it's like 8 episodes. They're like 8 episodes.
It's 24 episodes.
It's so good. Noah, did you catch up? Did you watch it all?
I haven't watched it all. I'm like midway through season 2. I just keep getting distracted with all my work stuff and like just everything.
It's such a fucking good show.
I know. Listen, I'm actually actively watching it. I literally just got a job in the last month, so I'm adjusting.
This is like Jason Momoa's like best role.
Yeah,
bro.
It's honestly really.
I mean, he
doesn't
have
saying it's crazy.
He doesn't have a large Rolodex of roles, but it's
like this is solid. Like,
but no, everybody.
I will give him this. Like, granted, he doesn't have a large Rolodex, but like the last few roles he's been in, he's just been like, all right, bet, pow, like because. These are fucking great roles.
When people ask like, well, what I'm like, listen, if you love all the non-rapiness of Khal Drogo, and then the vibe of Jason Momoa, that's what you get as Boba Fett.
You hit it, yeah. Boba Fett. So December 6th.
Yeah.
If you like the non-rapiness.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
The
so December 6th is also Val's birthday episode. So remember, we're gonna also wish her very, 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 very big happy birthday.
I won't be here for our last episode. That's what I meant. December 13th. I will be here for December 6th. That's my last episode.
And then December 13th
Of the year.
Of the year.
And then December 13th is our season final, so that this way we go on break. That season
won't be on
final,
that one.
we're going to be talking anime, which we'll be talking about Cyberpunk 2077. We'll be talking
If you
about
bring me
Chainsaw
on,
Man.
I will wiki everything.
Yes. Yeah.
Everything.
You're more than
You mean
welcome.
Cyberpunk Edge Runners?
Yep. Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Listen,
So
I
Pong
did not
will be
let him
subbing
have
for
things.
Val.
No what?
Pong will be subbing for Val that episode.
I will. Oh,
Val,
For the anime episode, we're gonna pull it in Pong.
I have to. I remember I told you guys
Terrible idea.
my friend's taking me to a Broadway show on the 13th, so I
No,
can't.
no. That's fine. What I was saying is, you haven't watched some Edge Runners yet?
No, I'm good
It's-
to pass on that anyway.
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's
I'm
really
sure it
good.
is.
George.
I'm sure it is.
From
Even got
me
George.
and Tone, from me and
Nah,
Tone
it's
and
good.
George.
Okay.
Watch it. From
It's-
me, Tone, and
it's
George,
good.
watch it.
It's worth it.
All right.
Yes,
All right, you know,
Seabass has like been dying for it, but this is the one that he's
No,
like.
it's good. I also need to
All
start
right,
watching. I also need to
you
start watching
guys
Chainsaw
know I
Man,
don't
but
trust
it's-
Seabass's opinion.
No, you don't have to. But we'll
See this,
co-sign it.
George? You see the love there?
No.
I love you, but I'm honest
It's because
with
you
you.
The
fucked it up
love-
for yourself,
the
bro.
love is
When you
real.
give us bad recommendations on the
That
regular,
was one episode.
no,
bro, it
because
was
even
not.
after that
No,
episode
bro.
aired, you still give us stuff that we're like, bro, what are we watching?
Nah,
Oh,
bro.
so do we know if Attack on Titans is coming back for its final season in
Oh,
January?
yeah, straight.
I
The
think it's
point
coming back in
5 of the
January,
5, yeah.
It better be the final. I don't want to hear
No,
crap.
it's the final. It's 3 finals.
Right, it's the final.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They better.
We gotta wrap up.
Family.
It's at the 2-hour
I
mark.
know.
I'm
We
sorry,
gotta
guys.
wrap
All
up.
right, all right.
George, what you got?
We gotta
planned
go.
tomorrow?
They're kicking me
What's
out the
going
door.
on? What's on Catch the Craze tomorrow?
Nothing. We're back on Thursday morning, though. Thursday morning at 9
Okay,
a.m. We're going to be talking. Yeah, we're going to be talking about
Oh,
burnout.
tell
after
Sam I
Kickstarter.
love Alien in the Toilet. I got my digital copies. Freaking hilarious.
You liked it? Yeah?
Yeah, they're cute. They're so
All
cute.
right. Yeah,
Yo,
I'll let
yo,
them know.
when are we going on your show?
Yo, whenever. What's up? Come.
Let me know.
All right.
Yeah,
we're
after-
I
ready.
love
after-
the energy.
after
Whenever,
the-
what's up? Let's go. Like,
Let's go. Yeah, no, I'll talk to Sam. We'll have a show. We'll do one all together and shit. We'll talk about
Yeah.
stuff.
Awesome.
It's be Val's birthday.
Yeah, we got to make Sam do homework. You know, that's our job.
I know. They can do some
I
homework.
love the energy with us and George. It's just like he comes to our show whenever he's like, "Hey, got an open door invite for us." He's like, "Yeah, come over, whatever. I'll bring a beer. Let's go." Like,
Let's
That's
go.
it.
Bring it.
I'd be pinging George. Be like, yo, you coming on?
Dude, I know 9:01. He's like, yo, I know it's late, but you want to come on? I was like, and then I heard you guys go, and I was like, I gotta go in and talk about my shit.
Like, I
But,
gotta go in.
Yeah.
I gotta go in.
it was so
I know.
funny because I was like, I wasn't expecting you. I wasn't expecting Pop.
Listen,
I was
listen.
like, I
George
would not be surprised if y'all just snuck in here and then I came up. I was like, oh shit, let's go.
George is on double duty because he also had the Wayward Raven energy
I
earlier
did.
too. So it's like,
Oh,
dude,
damn.
oh
They
man,
were on.
yeah,
right
no,
before I
that
came
was
on.
fucking awesome too. That
Yeah,
was-
They're good guys, man. I like those.
Oh, yeah,
guys.
they
They're
are.
fucking
You gotta try Mark's beer though. You definitely gotta try Mark's beer.
Okay.
Oh, beer is
He's
fucking
got to
good.
try any beer as long as it's with us. You know, I mean,
there you
but
go.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
There you go.
man.
Super Bowl. But anyway,
Nice.
this has been a
Super
fun
Bowl,
episode.
Super
Wait,
Bowl.
wait, wait,
Spanish goodbye, Pong.
Plug.
Okay, all right. So, just want to let you guys know that if you are a fan of robots smashing into each other at a very, very high velocity, this coming weekend on the Sin Shop live stream channel, that's twitch.tv/SynShop, SYNSHOP, you are going to see on Saturday morning robot combat, the likes of which you have never seen anywhere else, I can assure you, because we're going to have 1-pound robots, 3-pound robots, and for the first time anywhere that we have found in our extensive Googling, we are going to have 1-pound water-based robot combat. They are going to be trying to destroy each other in a big old bucket of water. And so it's not a bucket, it's a giant tank. But anyway,
I'm here for it.
it's going to be freaking awesome. It's going to be Saturday morning. It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That is do your own 12 o'clock Eastern time. There you go. And right there, robotcombatevents.com. And you see the link right there. Also, do want to let you know that if you are not really into the being in Las Vegas thing, but you can go to Twitch.tv. I should have done this in advance, but I didn't. SYNSHOP right there, just like that.
Oh no, it's in
hey,
the
thank you.
description. You've been added to the description.
We have
It's there.
it saved,
Oh.
sir.
Yeah, it's saved
Oh,
now.
sweet.
It is there.
Outstanding.
Yours,
Just like
Okay.
we have
everybody's.
Watch Crash Grace.
Yeah, watch that every at 8
You
p.m.
know?
Awesome.
Absolutely.
This has been a beautiful
All right.
night. Thank you, George. Thank you, Pon. Thank you, Key, for coming on
you.
earlier. This
Yeah.
has been an awesome episode. We got to talk about 2 great movies.
Well,
The
one.
silence in there was so telling.
We got to talk about one great movie. Hey,
Talk about one great
listen.
movie
I'm
and
not
one
the hero
great
here.
movie.
I'm not the hero. Yeah, I saved the bus full of school kids, but I'm not the hero. Okay,
Oh my god.
I just killed the bad guys, but I'm not a
didn't kill
hero.
them. I didn't kill them.
I didn't
That's
kill
what you were there for.
Yeah,
Stupid.
I just let you do. I didn't even see the movie. I haven't seen the movie.
Is he dead?
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is now. You needed him?
Not the hero.
Oh God, I got that. Those are memes there. Anyway,
All right, let's go,
beautiful night.
let's
This has
go.
been your boy Sebastian.
This be your boy Law.
Reluctantly, it's your boy Tony across the hall.
And of course, last but not least, Vmac. Tune in next week, guys, for our Friendsgiving episode. Thank you.
Peace. Later. Love.
Later,
happiness.
guys.
Later.
See ya.